Some nights are different. This is one of those nights. These are two of the giants in the history of college football. The story of this great sport cannot be told without Oklahoma and Michigan. From Wilkinson to Yost, from Schembechler to Switzer to Stoops. Billy, Baker, Biaka Batuka, Brady, and the Boz. From AC to AD. The royal blood that flows through the veins of these two programs is undeniable. Championships, Heismans, iconic moments woven into the college football tapestry are painted in maize and blue and crimson and cream. And tonight, for the first time ever in Norman, they collide. Tonight, two programs and two fan bases that sit on treasure troves of trophies and tradition meet in a monumental early season matchup. And two teams with championship aspirations seek a statement-making victory on this sport's biggest stage. Which kingdom will prevail under the primetime palace lights? We're about to find out. It's football time in Oklahoma.
Bounces left, tries the corner. He's to the 5. He's in. John Mateer, touchdown. Sooner.
It's time for a college football Game of Thrones. It's the Oklahoma Sooners and the Michigan Wolverines. This is one of those nights. Here we go. Live from the Palace on the Prairie. Historic Owen Field in Norman, Oklahoma. This is Sooner Football.
The Wolverines from the University of Michigan against the Sooners of the University of Oklahoma.
We played big ball games before. That's why you came to Oklahoma, to play in games like this. You get your opportunity.
John Mateer is exactly what Oklahoma needed. A leader and a quarterback that can hurt you running and throwing.
People gravitate to him because of the passion they plays the game with.
Touchdown, Oklahoma!
Nobody is like us.
Heavyweights from the Big Ten and the SEC collide. Touchdown! Underwood has his first of many.
I feel like it's time for me to step up.
Became a leader on the team, and for a young guy, very mature, and he's still only 18 years old.
There is no game on the remainder of our schedule more important than the one you're going down to the tunnel to play today. Now let's go.
Boomer and Sooner dragging that Sooner schooner out of there. NASCAR giant Jimmy Johnson to the building. Would appreciate it. Good lap they turn. Good acceleration.
Here we come now.
And here come the Sooners. Can this defense, supported by this frenzied crowd, make it tough on this young quarterback tonight? They'll try. Jerome Moore, back in 2006 and 7, won Big 12 championships with the Sooners. They knocked Missouri out of the BCS championship game one of those seasons, and he's with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, you uniquely are positioned to know how hard it is to win here because you played here for the Sooners. What have you tried to share with your team about what it will take tonight?
Emotional consistency, we talked about that. They're going to make plays. We're going to make plays. We got to stay within the moment and play our game.
You have a young man that just turned 18 2 weeks ago at quarterback. How will he handle the noise and operate well?
Yeah, I mean, everybody else has got to help him, too, around him, right? And he's just got to do his job.
Thank you, Coach. Have fun out here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A nice visit with Stoops a few minutes ago we saw on the field, and Bob was a mentor to him.
And he told us, you know, he was pretty level-headed until he got into the stadium and looked right into the eyes of his former head coach, Bob Stoops, and he said he got charged up.
Underwood in the offense will wait. Michigan won the toss but deferred. So kickoff will be delivered by Beckham Sunderland. Jaden Ott Transfer from Cal, one of the talented running backs. He's back healthy tonight, standing in the end zone. And Sunderland hammers it into the back of the end zone. So here comes John Mateer. Game 1, chance to get baptized against FCS Illinois State. It's a good FCS team, but it was pretty easy pickings after the first couple of drives misfired. He got going 30 of 37, Kirk, close to 400 yards. Did over an interception, also ran for a touchdown.
Most important thing, third year in this system. You know, he follows Ben Arbuckle over. Great timing and anticipation. Very much a threat with his legs. Powerful, very strong lower half. You can see, loves to be able to pull out of tackles and doesn't get rattled. This will be a good matchup for him against his talented defense.
Empty backfield on the first play. And it's a quarterback keep, but he's dropped in the backfield. Derek Moore, one of those guys that goes back to Michigan's championship team in 23, came off the edge quickly.
You take a look at our impact players. Jaden Ott, who did not play. He's a transfer himself, coming over from Cal. He is healthy and able to go. He's in that first play. You see Lewis 9 on the outside. Big game last week. Derek Moore, who just made that play, Chris. And then the leader of this defense, the captain, 15 in the middle, Ernest Hausman.
5 receivers again, empty backfield. Michigan rushes 4. It's here on a slant and a miscommunication. It was thrown behind Deion Burks, and it's a quick 3rd and on now.
Yeah, I think Ben Arbuckle just wants to see his quarterback and the operation just kind of settle in. He's going up against Wink Martindale, one of the top defensive gurus in this sport in the NFL for many, many years.
Only a 33-year age difference.
Yeah. This Michigan defense is athletic, disguise well, and play fast.
Mateer from the pocket, right down the middle, and it's catch made on the one-handed grab by Jaron Kanak. And Kanak, the tight end, makes a beautiful catch, 31 yards.
Chris, he does a really nice job of working from here in the slot. Look how the safety split. What a throw on the line there. There's a great job by the former linebacker, Kanak, getting his hand up for that catch.
They'll play with tempo. Depending on how things are going, they're not going to go breakneck speed. They lose 4 in that play. The catch made by Satania.
Catch here with that left hand to go up. I didn't know if he could bring that down and then to be able to hold on to that as those split safeties submerge, and he holds on to that first down on 3rd down. And then Michigan steps right back up against the tempo you referred to, with Hill making a heck of a play.
Behind the 6 on 2nd down. Throws into traffic and a screen, and that's Satania again. Gets back about 5 yards. It'll set up 3rd down long again.
Now Michigan identifying these threats of these quick throws and these screens, dropping it really 8 or 9 that time within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Free play, ball toss on the sidelines. Burke makes the catch. Deion Burks is down inside the 25. Michigan jumped off there. 21-yard gain.
Offside. That's number 44. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Mark Wazowski in charge of this Big Ten crew tonight.
What a job here of squeezing this in. Michigan trying to disguise their coverage right here with the safety, TJ Metcalf. He gets out a little bit late after the motion, and because he's late to get out there, there's an easy opening without him getting rerouted outside. Easy to squeeze that one in with the safety coming over late and the receiver not getting jammed at the line of scrimmage.
2 explosive pass plays on this opening drive for Mateer. Design run. Makes a move. Zips another tackle. Shows his maneuverability there. Picks up about 8.
Now this is what we talk about, the threat with his legs, especially they get down to the red area. You got to always be aware of this if you're a linebacker. Does a good job of disguising that, gives the lineman enough time to be able to pull around and be able to affect that play.
Handoff inside, and again, the negative play on 1st down. Trey Williams swarming the backfield, knocking down hot.
And keep in mind, this is a Michigan defense that had two of the better defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen in the country a year ago, and Mason Graham and Kenneth Brandt, both off to the NFL in the first round. So Trey Williams, one of the young men who will try to step in to help out. Number 0, the transfer from Clemson. You have Rayshawn Benny's in there, Trey Pierce, Damon Payne, who transferred over from Alabama. So a lot of bodies in there that they'll rotate.
3rd and 3 in the red zone here. That's Kanak in motion. It's a run from Matier all the way, leaning right near the marker. It's going to depend on the spot. Ernest Hausman got him down, the leader of the linebacking core.
Ted, Michigan doing a pretty good job. They were spread all over the field there. Good job of getting off of blocks. They didn't have the numbers, but Payne, 44, made the play there, getting off of that block. 4th
down, they're going to go for it here.
Yep.
They need just about a foot, it looks like. Javante Barnes, number 2, senior running back in the backfield. 2 tight ends. Matier running all the way. Hard to stop. Goff leg drag. You talked about the strength and the forward lean. It's going to be a 1st and goal.
How about when you know it's coming and you're able to still be able to pick it up? Again, Weewoo here, the right guard. He's kind of trying to get outside to be able to kick out. Barnes, the running back, leads his way inside. Just good job of getting that push by Oklahoma. That was a real weak spot for them a year ago. The offensive line, or a number of areas, they had their top 5 receivers injured, 12 different offensive line combinations.
4 new starters this game from the last game.
That's right.
These guys are getting healthier. Can they punch it in? Barnes sent out far to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Matier takes a look on the move and just fires it out of bounds. You have pressure there from Etta. And Barnes was covered.
There's the experience coming into play. Don't do anything crazy. No reason to force that. Steps up into the pocket, gets away from the pressure, and then just throws it away to live for that next down.
12th play of the drive coming up. Matier 4 for 6 with these 2 long completions, and he's run it 4 times. Red zone, not an area of success last year for this Oklahoma offense. Pop pass, Burks, turns the corner, D.O. Burks, touchdown, Oklahoma. What a drive to start this game.
Yeah, they showed a little bit of everything on this drive with different formations, personnel groupings. I want you to watch the lead block right here by 2. Barnes does a nice job utilizing that. That's good against good with 15. Hausman trying to come over to scrape and make a play. But that's good blocking downfield by the receivers. Good job by 9. Lewis, the progressive pylon cam showing he gets across the goal line for a touchdown to finish that opening drive off for the Sooners.
Tate Sandell, portal guy from UT San Antonio, the lefty, knocks it through. Don't know if Oklahoma fans would have dared to dream their offense would start this well against this Michigan defense. The key was that Kanak catch on 3rd and long to get the drive going, and they punch it in. We will see. Rice Underwood, first possession coming up for Michigan.
18-16 Bulls shocking the Gators, Chris.
No party in Gainesville, fellas. Got to go to Baton Rouge next week. That's a deflating opening loss for Napier.
And not a surprise. The Bulls last week beating Boise State definitely caught the Gators' attention. So not a shock, but a huge win there for South Florida.
Andrew Marsh, true freshman, to receive the kick from Tate Sandell, but he'll let it go over his head. Here is Bryce Underwood, winner in high school, 50-4 at a couple of state championships. Early on, committed to LSU. And then Michigan made a serious investment. A lot of people involved in that, and then convinced him to come play his football in Ann Arbor, come back home.
Yeah, and has really stepped into this role with high expectations. Last week could not have looked any more in command, played with tremendous poise, decisive, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. There's a little smile. He is not overwhelmed at all. Let's see how he plays not just in the atmosphere, but against Brett Venables' defense.
6'4", 228. Didn't run last week, but that's certainly part of the repertoire. Hand off to Justice Haynes. Transfer from Alabama. Impact players when Michigan's got the football.
Yeah, Haynes in the running game would be a big part of their attack tonight. Donovan McCauley, the transfer from Indiana. Big, tall, rangy receiver at 6'5", can make plays into the boundary. R. Mason Thomas, one of the best pass rushers in the SEC, if not the country, 32. Then Kip Lewis, 10, one of the great leaders on this defense. You'll see him in the middle roaming around, trying to make sure everybody's on the right page, as he's doing right now.
Haynes got 4. Monster debut for Michigan, 159 yards against New Mexico. They fake it to him underwood on the run. Has Samaj Morgan wide open. The slot receiver work free. Big gain out near midfield.
How about that throw? You want an easy throw to settle in? Use the motion. They didn't communicate. So once he gets around and over top of that edge player, look at all the room because of the miscommunication. Good job with late motion by Chip Lindsey's offense there to open that up, and he's a real threat when he gets out in space.
Yeah, you saw all those Sooners on looking around, pointing at each other, not ready for that. Haynes off the left side, and he runs into Kobe McKenzie, the middle linebacker. Big shoes to fill for that guy. Danny Stutzman patrolled the middle for years at Oklahoma, had almost 400 career tackles. There's the head-to-head. Venables back calling defense against Chip Lindsey.
Chip Lindsey comes over from North Carolina. You go back, he coached in high school, came up through the ranks, was with Todd Monken, was with Gus Malzahn.
6 schools.
Yeah, yeah. Does a great job of, you combine his background with spread with the DNA of Michigan and Jerome Moore and wanting to establish the run. I think that's why they went out there and brought him in to go along with Bryce Underwood's skill set.
Haynes, slow developing play. Muscles down to the Oklahoma 46. Will set up a 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, they have a great combination. You see Jordan Marshall tonight, the sophomore out of Cincinnati, played at Moeller High School. And then Justice Haynes, who we're seeing early, big physical back, has really worked on his speed and fluidity. Saw him get out in the open space last week against New Mexico and take a couple long runs. They feel good that he can not only be tough, but also take it to the house that he's given the steam.
So the first 3rd down for this Wolverine offense on the road tonight. Play clock at 4. Underwood, easy throw. The catch made behind the line of scrimmage and going nowhere because Kendall Daniels got up to stop Haynes, and it's 4th down. Actually lost a yard on the play.
Well, this time they motion him to give him a head start to get out there. Wine 44 reacts. This is just a great job by Oklahoma on the perimeter. Once Haynes goes out, you'll see the end. The defensive end, Wine, see that, feel that. Now he gives them an extra body out there. But look out on the perimeter. Look how they're attacking downhill. Especially good to see Gentry Williams, who's dealt with some injuries. He's very, very active there and making a good play for that Sooner defense on 3rd down.
Now Hudson Hollebeck try to pin Oklahoma back. Satania will stand and let it bounce over his head, but it checks up. Takes a nice bounce, and Hollebeck does his job. And John Mateer and the Sooners up 7-0 here in Norman. Pinned back for their 2nd possession.
What an opening drive for Oklahoma and John Mateer. Chris and I are talking. I don't know if they had this good of a drive all year last year. They come out in this first drive of this big game, a couple of 3rd downs, able to convert 3rd and 9. Mateer showing his poise and confidence. 4th and 1, able to get the tough yards. Good blocking there to get him inside the 10. And then get the ball back out on the perimeter to Burks, who has great quicks to be able to get it into the end zone.
Burks is from Detroit. They didn't recruit him at Michigan. He went to Purdue. Loved playing against the Wolverines in that case. And he is fired up this week at a 21-yard catch in the drive and then the touchdown.
Yeah, I think both these teams realize what's at stake tonight, even though it's only week 2 of the season. There's a lot of energy on both sides. It's going to be a physical game.
Jaden Ott, number 0, fans really eager to see him. Not able to play in the opener, but healthy now, practiced all week. And a flinch on the right side of the offensive line, so that'll cost him half the distance.
Start. offense, number 66. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Remains first down.
Again, there's 4 guys, Kirk, making the start this week that didn't start last week. Derek Simmons is one of them.
That's right. And I think that showing blitz there affected that. T.J. Metcalf started to kind of walk down, starts to show this, and then 66 looks out there. And then when they start to affect and change the call at the line of scrimmage, he loses his balance and pushes them back another 2 or 3 yards.
Matier from the end zone launches down the far sidelines, has a man wide open, and it's Burks. And he is having a heck of a start against his home state team.
Well, they might
34.
Chris, they may take a peek to make sure the right foot got down right there. It looks close to the line as he caught the ball. It was just like last week. They're backed up close to their own end zone and took a shot. Same exact play. They're going to go quick here so they don't get a chance to review it.
It's the command center, Chicago. Bill Lamagna gave a thumbs up. He took a quick look at our monitor, Kirk. He thinks it was a good catch.
Yeah, it probably is, but I'm just saying I thought they might take a peek just because it was so close. Hopefully they already saw it. Yeah, good catch.
We don't need these,
job by the officials.
Replay
No problem.
Lamagna, thumbs up.
Easy.
Good. We'll talk about the command center and,
by the way,
a booth-initiated targeting call, which is factoring in this Michigan defense. They don't have none of the alphas out there. Jason Barham, the linebacker, suspended for the first half for that targeting play in the 3rd quarter last week. Sooners backed up no more on 2nd down. Matier fires into traffic. It was broken up very nicely. Getting a hand in there was Zeke Berry. Got it in front of Burks.
Boy, was that a great play by Zeke Berry. 5'11", 196 pounds. Played at De La Salle High School out in California. Had his eyes turned, knew the ball was coming, was able to anticipate that throw, work his body around the receiver, Burks, and then use the length to be able to put that ball away and bring up a 3rd down.
It's a young secondary, isn't it? Let it
really
in pieces. Very few guys with veteran experience. Another 3rd down. They need 6 here. Barnes is the back. Again, good protection. Ball is just dropped. Satania spun his head to take a look at where the marker was and the tackler was and just dropped it. And here comes the punt team.
Well, he just does a poor job here in taking his eyes off the ball. Once you see him settle in the zone, watch his head. He starts to peek. And because of that, that's what causes him to take his eyes just a split second off of the football. He's thinking about where he might want to go. Or maybe it was just the velocity of the throw that went right through his hands.
Oh, you making a change of punter tonight. This is Grayson Miller. Jacob Ulrich punted the first game. He was seen and wearing a sleeve, not really taking any warm-up punts. So Miller, redshirt junior from Central Oklahoma, transfer, gets a nice kick away. 47 yards. Oregon makes the fair catch. Midway first quarter. Underwood, the Wolverines, up when you come back. Yeah, Bryce Underwood, I mean, the 19 jerseys are already flying out of the outlets and online in Michigan. Comes from Detroit. Look at the stats at Belleville High School.
Pretty good career.
Yeah, state championships. Actually lost in the playoffs his last 2 years. Again, signed eventually with Michigan. Gained 15 pounds. His parents, Jaquan and Beverly. Kind of like the 16 jerseys at Texas. It didn't take long.
No.
To sell a bunch. Looking to throw from inside the 10. Underwood launches downfield, almost intercepted. He only took one downfield shot last week. Kirk didn't need to, and it wasn't complete. So good to see that. I know we know he's got the arm strength. You just haven't seen that yet from him.
No, but he obviously has it. They show man, and then they drop out of it. I don't know if they cause some confusion. Again, Brent Venables is well known for showing a look, especially against a young quarterback, and then going to a different look in the post snap. He threw that expecting man-to-man. They dropped out, settled in zone, and almost cost him.
2nd and 10. Here comes the noise. Enough inside. Haynes had a stutter step in the backfield and penetration from Marvin Jones Jr. There's
that's
a flag
face
down.
mask there. He got a hold of the face mask. That'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for Michigan. Great penetration off the edge. This Oklahoma defense is attacking.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 97. 15-yard penalty. automatic first down.
Tried to let go like I didn't get it, but damage was done.
Yeah, our Mason Thomas, 32 on the other side, gets most of the attention, but with picking up Marvin Jones through the portal, he's effective. You can see his length that time. Right after he did it, he pulled his hand back like, nope, wasn't me. But very obvious, officials on top of it. Michigan catches a break. That would have been 3rd and long without that penalty, so they pick up a first down.
Marvin Jones Jr., of course, a legacy recruit of Florida State. His father is a legend. Jones, remember him?
Man, great player.
Haynes bounces off people, and he's wrestled down after an 8-yard gain. He's got speed, toughness, versatility. Best running back debut for a Michigan player since 1970, what he did last week.
Chris, I love Justice Haynes. I love what they do in the backfield, but honestly, man, Jerome Moore brought back physicality with Jim Harbaugh in 21 and 22 when they won the Joe Moore Award. Runner-up in 23 when they won the national title. Last year, starting all over with a lot of new faces, they took a step back. Boy, is it good to see them establish the line of scrimmage on runs like that.
Here's the reverse. McCulley will be trapped. Sooners not fooled. It's a big loss. Kendall Daniels, Toby McKenzie sniffed it out. They lose 6.
That's just a great job of discipline by Daniels and McKenzie out here on the edge. Does a good job. Instead of chasing, they come back. They're not surprised at all that this ball ends up coming back that way. Almost based on the look pre-snap. Doing their scouting report, doing their film study. They're not surprised. They're waiting for McCauley to come around the other way. Now it sets up a 3rd and long.
Second, 3rd down tonight for this Michigan offense. They did not convert the first time. Sooners rush 4. Underwood has a lot of room. And now throws late. Catch made by McCulley. And he's galloping down deep in Oklahoma territory. So they gave him a lot of space. He took off and left the receiver alone.
Yeah, they sat back in zone, Chris, and this is the one thing about his ability is on 3rd down, he can threaten you with his legs. The defense here is expecting he's going to run, so they end up biting on that, and a good job of keeping his eyes downfield. One defender should have stayed with the receiver. One should have tried to take away the threat with the quarterback run. Instead, both come up, and it makes it an easy throw with the recognition there by Bryce Underwood for that conversion.
McCulley, one of the new pieces in this Michigan receiving corps, injured last year in Indiana, but had a monster year a couple of years ago for the Hoosiers. Heavy traffic. Haynes nowhere to go. David Stone and others.
Chris, you know, you watch him, and America's just starting to learn and watch him play in person, you know, and on their screens. He is a guy that prefers to sit in the pocket. Like, he is a pocket passer that happens to be very athletic, and he can get out and do things if you're going to open that up. But make no mistake, he is a pure pocket quarterback that is a guy that has the ability to hurt you when he needs to with his feet.
3 of 4 in the early going. Haynes in the slot. Caught the ball, and Kendall Daniels hammered him immediately. It's another loss of 5.
Max Bredesen, who usually is a great blocker, I don't know if he just passes him off, but he lets him get by, and boy, did he time that up perfectly. That's the second big play we've seen from 5 into Crimson. Big time hit, timed up perfectly, and they push Michigan again deep behind the sticks on 3rd down.
They're well to hold on to the football, but yeah, they need 14 this time.
Remember, last time they rushed 4, sat back in zone. Let's see if they do the same thing or they dial it up.
Jordan Marshall's in the game. It's deflected off the hands of Morgan. Just as he was trying to turn upfield and drop. And Michigan will stall after a promising drive.
It's tough against any defense, but let alone a Brent Venables defense. When you get behind the sticks, you get to those 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 14s. Defense is flying around with confidence. Even if he's able to secure that football, there's just too many jerseys around him. Not much of a chance there at all.
They're all over those underneath routes early on.
Oh, yeah, flying around.
Satania back. Hollenbeck will try to duplicate the punt from earlier in the quarter. And he pinned Oklahoma at the 5. High kick. And this one's going to bounce in the end zone. So not as well executed. Touchback. Final minute of this first quarter. Talk about Ben Arbuckle. It's been a quick timeline. 5 years ago, he's coaching high school football, but he had one of those minds. It was spotted Western Kentucky. Bailey Zappi broke some FBS records for yards and touchdowns when he was there. Cam Ward, brilliant year at Washington State, and John Matier was a backup for 2 years, and then the package deal. They hired Arbuckle first, and then Matier came along after that.
Yeah, and he is, 29 years old to be the offensive coordinator.
Wild.
At Oklahoma, like you said, in high school football just a few years ago, and he likes to look at his defense. He likes to spread defenses out and be multiple like most people do. But
he got out of college in 2018.
I know.
Is that true? Yeah. Matier on a slant. That catch is made by Keontae Lewis. Another guy had a big opening game, picks up 18 there. Matier looks good.
Yeah, that's just great timing. He gets back to the top of his route. It's a little sidearm throw, but look at the accuracy. Perfect time there for Lewis getting into the middle of that defense.
Another throw in the middle of the field, but it's intercepted. He overthrew a man of T.J. Metcalf's waiting for it. So a very sharp start, but a mistake gives Oklahoma the first takeaway of the night.
Well, we're just talking about his accuracy and how comfortable he looks, and this time this is just a matter of him just missing. He loves the in-breaking routes. We saw that last week. Ball sails on him, gets high away from his target, Huggins. He's open. He's got the seam right there. He just overthrows him right into the waiting arms of the safety, who says, "I'll take that. Thank you very much." First mistake of the night for either team, especially for Matier, who's been playing well.
Metcalf, a transfer from Arkansas. They expect this Michigan secondary to be better as the season goes on, but again, inexperienced. They make a big play there. From the 38. It's Jordan Marshall, who will spell Justice Haynes. Sophomore from Moeller High School, the powerhouse in Ohio. Robert Spears Jennings made the stop.
Yeah, physical runner with the ability to get out in space and be effective getting downfield. But I'll tell you right now, Michigan's going to have to come up with a plan to attack Oklahoma downfield. They're not respecting that vertical threat, and they're trying to take away the running game and all the quick underneath throws from Bryce Underwood.
Oklahoma takes the opening kickoff, marches right down the field. Sooners gain 131 yards in the opening quarter, but Michigan back to work after the first turnover tonight. 7-0 Sooners in Norman after 1. Back after this message at a word from your local ABC station. Good start here in Norman. You're watching the SEC on ABC. This Big Ten SEC collision in Norman. SEC all day, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. Michigan with a 2nd and 8 as we start quarter number 2. And Marshall should say plows forward for a few yards. Samaj Morgan back out there. He was in the medical tent briefly. Took a big shot last offensive series with the Wolverines as an incompletion.
From the left, Reggie Powers, bang, right there. And watch this as he tries to get up. This guy's a playmaker. He's a little woozy, tries to come up, goes down. So he goes immediately to the tent to be evaluated by the Michigan medical staff.
Kirk, you also spotted another key playmaker tonight. Marlon Klein was here to be hampered in the warm-up. We haven't seen the tight end tonight. He's a guy they compare to Colston Loveland in terms of athletic ability. The number 10 pick.
Big ankle brace on.
Underwood from the pocket. Long throw incomplete beyond Morgan. If you don't have Klein tonight, that is going to affect their attack. It's made a big impact. Holly, what do you have?
Well, guys, I'm told by Michigan personnel that Marlon Klein is questionable to play tonight. As you said, that's a huge loss at 6'6", 250. He's on the freaks list for college football. He's so impactful. So look for number 80. Hogan Hansen was in on that last drive. He's more of a wide receiver type, 6'5", 240. That is a huge loss for Michigan if Marlon does not come in.
Klein is from Cologne, Germany. Michigan's had 3 German players. Got a couple on the roster. Julius Belshoff is in the Steelers practice squad. There's a low punt this time. Rowland Beck delivers and coming up to make the diving catch there. Satania. The Schooner. Good time he took that for a spin and then game day promo. Ten national championships between these two schools, 3 for Michigan, 7 for Oklahoma. Wolverines won that Dr. Pepper CFP National Championship trophy a couple of years ago. Hard Rock Stadium is the place that will be awarded this year. Aerial views brought to you by Goodyear for every legendary moment, still, always, forever. Oklahoma from the 22. Trying to reclaim the crispness they had on the opening drive. Impressive run pass mix, converted 2 third and longs and a 4th and 1 in that drive. Torrey Blaylock. It's been tough for both teams to run tonight, at least from the running back position.
Yeah, it's been tough. Wink Martindale he believes in the depth that he has, and right now he's showing that. He put Nate Marshall, who's a true freshman, 94, into the game. He got some other linebackers, Cole Sullivan, Jimmy Rolder. Derek Moore is now taking a little bit of a break with Marshall, who they have really, really high hopes for what he can become. 33, Dominic Nichols on the other side. So rotating some fresh bodies in up front for Michigan and linebackers and the ends.
Second year, of course, for Martindale, coordinating the Wolverines after 20 years in the NFL. Matier slings it across the middle. Man, the catch is made at the 30-yard line by Satania. He's a couple yards short of a first down. It'll be 3rd down. Need about 3 here. Seems 2 of 4 so far. Blaylock motions out, empty backfield. Not a lot of pressure from either defense so far tonight.
No, and not much of a threat. You mentioned the running game. Like it's not even a factor. It's almost not even on the mind of Oklahoma at this point.
Try to convert on the ground, and Blaylock sees a crease, makes a move, and gets the first down. He's a guy that has track speed, national record-setting 4x100 relay team in Texas.
And because of the trips into the boundary, the defensive end, 33, Nichols, walks out there just in case they go with that quick throw, and that actually creates that lane to bounce outside to.
Matier keeps it. But he has a terrific way of kind of navigating through traffic, doesn't he? Great instincts as a runner, finds yards when they don't appear to be there.
And there, he's just reading Cole Sullivan, the middle linebacker. I thought he might get tricked there and hand that ball off, but does a good job of staying on the ride. Linebacker collapses, and you're right, he's so elusive. He's got the mix of power and then the backyard football, just natural savvy as a ball carrier.
Definitely a willing runner. It's a big part of his game. Again, 7 straight games with a rushing touchdown. 2nd and 5 is an option look, and the pitch to Blaylock on the edge. Old school Oklahoma fans will like that. Not exactly the wishbone, but it's reminiscent of the Switzer era. First down again. Holly.
Well, guys, he's got such great feet in the hole, John Matier, as a quarterback. And there's a good reason. He played baseball all the way through his senior year of high school, where he was a shortstop. He said, I didn't have the speed as a pitcher to go that route, but he is really good with his feet. Not only that, but he squats 475 pounds. So pair that speed and good foot strength with the leg strength.
There's a hooper and a baseball player, mostly growing up, but that's one way you win over teammates. You get in the weight room and you throw some serious weight as a quarterback. It's Brandon Hillman, the Wolverines safety, an interception in the opening game, being checked out. We'll step aside.
ABC Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by the Sonic Smasher. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app. Live free. Eat Sonic.
Sooner bonus getting spruced up for this prime time. Kind of a spa day. Kind of a secret location, Kirk, where they are, but it is told 20 minutes outside of Norman. So it's kind of a clue. If it's secret,
it is
kind of a clue, isn't it?
When you and I did that commercial with Lee Corso, I remember thinking, was a bumpy ride, but one of them was pulling a little bit harder. The other one was just kind of long for the ride.
Yeah.
I hope they worked that out.
LC wanted to coach him up, not pulling his weight. Blaylock's got enough first down, makes a cut and lowers the head, picks up just a couple.
They're trying to run the football now a little bit. Batier's really been the one carrying it for the most part. Got Blaylock involved here a little bit here on this drive.
Oklahoma running backs, Kirk, just 6 carries for 15 yards. Sidearm sling, the catch made by Burks along the sidelines. Short gain just into Michigan territory. Another third down coming up, already the 6th third down for OU.
You mentioned Michigan's youth on the back end, Chris, with Hillman going down. Remember Rod Moore, who's the veteran and really the catalyst on the back end. He's still yet to be able to come back. So there's a look at Hillman. Mason Curtis comes in, rangy, 6'5", about 211-pound sophomore out of Nashville, went to Ensworth High School.
Michigan brings some pressure here. Matier scrambles out. That's the first time they really came after him with an extra rusher on third down. Pressure provided by Cole Sullivan, and the Sooners will punt.
And they do a good job of taking away any options downfield. We just talked about Mason Curtis. He did a good job of robbing, and I think the first time we've really seen Matier not have an answer. Seems like anything Michigan's thrown at him, the ball has been out pretty quickly, or he scrambled to be able to pick up some time and make a throw. That time they do a good job of corralling him, keeping him in that pocket on third down, not letting him create, and good coverage downfield.
Morgan back. Wolverines had a little trouble in the opener. Morgan muffed a punt. Marsh, the kick returner, fumbled one. Sure hands here as he comes up to make the catch at the 14-yard line. Take a look at who's bringing the heat so far by Sonic Smasher. Brent Venables back calling the plays. Likes what he sees, I think, so far.
Yeah, I think he does. And again, I mentioned earlier, they don't feel real threatened downfield. And because of that, they're able to attack downhill and get their linebackers just kind of running freely. And whether they're getting stretched horizontally or if they're trying to go power, these guys are getting downhill and playing with a great deal of confidence. Like I said, you got a young quarterback trying to do anything you can if you're Brent Venables to affect him and rattle him. And until Michigan can make Oklahoma pay for it with something downfield, they're going to continue to see that, an aggressive approach by the Sooners.
Yeah, they took one downfield shot, but he overthrew McCulley. First down, handoff in the hole there, and Jordan Marshall nowhere to run. A whole bunch of Michigan plays stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage tonight.
Yeah, and again, I think a big part of what Michigan wanted to try to do, again, is anytime you got a young quarterback, you got to be able to get your offensive lineman getting a good push. But look how quickly these guys are anticipating. Everybody knows that that's what you want to do no matter who you are, let alone it's Michigan. So there's a lot of movement. Make them communicate. Make them be on the same page.
Conservative approach here. Pinned back inside their own 20. They hand it to Marshall again, and it'll set up a third and long.
To give them credit, it's not just the calls from Brent Venables with the slant and angles and the forcing an offensive line that's still gelling to communicate, but also these guys are playing hard. They're getting off blocks. This is a very talented defensive front from Oklahoma.
We knew this was going to be a much sterner test for Underwood, and has been so far. He's had his moments, but so far, nothing downfield and very little help from the run game. Needs 6 here. And they run right into a run blitz. Crimson jerseys coming downhill in a hurry. And they knock Haynes out of bounds. Mason Thomas off the edge.
You got 7 crimson jerseys, and what Brent Venables decides to do based on the look is they're going to angle this way, and just in case the quarterback runs, they have him accounted for. Slant into the boundary in case he hands it off, take the quarterback away in case it's a boot the other way, and really nowhere to go for Michigan. Again, if you can't threaten the defense downfield, this is what you're going to get.
Holland back. This time tries to use the left foot to get Oklahoma put back in their own territory. As a flag down, looks like he got hit after getting the punt away. Let's see if it's the 5 or 15-yard variety. Personal foul, of course, would give them a first down.
He tried to slow down, but he ran into him, but very aggressively.
So Masigo, who is aggressive, the middle linebacker.
They try to slow himself down. You can see he's trying, but that's a personal foul.
Roughing the kicker. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It's the second major penalty on Oklahoma that's given Michigan a first down. No penalties yet on the Wolverines.
Self-inflicted wounds. You throw in the Mateer interception, too, that ball just kind of got away from him. This is a big play that gets Bryce Underwood and Michigan. Not only did they get the football back, but Oklahoma would have had the football plus territory right at midfield.
Yeah, it was a bad punt.
Yeah.
They were getting ready to take over.
That's a huge sequence there for Michigan. Can McCauley get downfield? Can somebody get downfield and win one-on-one?
Play action. Underwood steps up, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Heavy pressure. That was Cortland Guillory off the corner who hit him. The blitz.
Guillory comes off the edge, but look at this effort right here in the interior. Loses his balance, continues to work to try to affect the play. But that true freshman, Cortland Guillory, he may be as good as any true freshman corner in the country. Asked to be out there on islands. We keep talking about Michigan going downfield. That's a true freshman out of Houston. It's out there holding up, doing a good job. Head time blitzed.
Venables will throw some wrinkles at any quarterback, especially the young ones. They're going to continue to try Haynes. There's a flag in the pit area. This may be first Michigan penalty tonight. Kip Lewis on the stop for OU. Chip Lindsey's being patient with this run game in early downs, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Holding. Defense number 52. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So it's the defensive lineman, Dominic Williams, called for a holding. Don't see that called a lot.
No, you don't see that hardly at all. It's right in the middle, nose guard. See what they see there.
Good question. I mean, he's grabbing a blocker's jersey there.
Yeah. Again, they do that every play. Bill, what do you have there for us, sir?
The defense is allowed to grab the offense if they're making a legitimate attempt for the ball carrier. You can't pull a guy out of the way to let your teammate get in there. That looked pretty good to me. Pretty clean.
But another penalty gives Michigan a boost, and that's the best first down run they've had tonight. Williams on the force out there.
Well, they were able to get to the edge because of the left tackle. Evan Link was able to sustain his block and finish it. Good job of using leverage there and then his strength.
Pick up 8 in Oklahoma territory. Crowd booing. This drive completely was prolonged, obviously, by the roughing the punter, but aided by that holding call. Again, a deep handoff. By the time Haynes gets to the line of scrimmage, a bunch of OU guys are coming downhill. And Henry Williams, a corner again, made the play along with David Stone.
Keep in mind Holly's report, Marlon Klein, the tight end on that edge. Do not underestimate in this style of offense, especially in short yardage, how big of a loss 17. You see that C on his jersey. Has waited his time to be the guy, and to have something holding him back is a significant loss in these kind of situations.
Underwood under his center. They need about 1.5 yards. They hand it off, and Haynes hit right at the line. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like it's going to be enough as a side judge runs in there. Michigan just barely gets a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, there's some penetration initially there by David Stone, but good hard running, and it looks like El-Hadi is down, the left guard. Chris, you're right. I mean, this is right at the line. Look, there's penetration, but pretty good effort there. Haynes played right at the line, close.
I think the ball did get across that plane there. El-Hadi is a co-captain, guy who was on the national championship team as a backup. Key part of that offensive line. Hani, the co-captain, the graduate who started or played 45 games at Michigan, helped off. Jumping in there is Nathan Ofobi, who's getting coached up by Evan Link, the veteran left tackle, as he steps in for Hani. So two guys on the offense who are captains for Michigan, not able to be on the field right now. Klein and Hadi. Underwood rolls, delivers, wide open catch made by Channing Goodwin. Guy they expect big things from this year based on a strong camp.
Good job of selling this. Watch Bryce Underwood. This is a design rollout. Move the launch point, his weights, let the play develop. You can see how comfortable he is in throwing the football on the run. Nice big window out there between the corner and the safety. Able to put it right over top of the corner, right to Goodwin for a big first down play.
Chunk play of 25 yards. Enough to loosen up that defense, perhaps. Michigan from the 22. Haynes. Another first down run, but Kip Lewis is waiting right there for him. Picks up a couple.
As a play Jim Harbaugh would love. I think they had 7 offensive linemen in the lineup that time, with an unbalanced look to the left side there.
On 1st and 10.
Yeah, on 1st and 10. Hey, Tromore and Jim Harbaugh, they kindred spirits. They love to win that line of scrimmage. And like I said, this is an offensive line that's trying to reestablish their identity after a year ago.
Haynes again as the Sooners crowd the line. They got a couple blocks on the edge. He makes a cut and runs through a tackle down inside the 15. McKenzie got him down, but it's going to set up a 3rd and short.
But what a job here responding to the opportunity after that block punt, or the roughing the punter that gave him a new set of downs. He's taken full advantage of this, driving this ball deep into Oklahoma territory.
Wearing down this Oklahoma defense, perhaps 12th play of this drive coming up. Another 3rd and short. Throw incomplete. Little miscommunication. Looked like Donovan McCulley was blocking. There's a flag on the perimeter. Guillory was in coverage.
Chris, I'm with you. It looked like a block. That may be offensive PI. I mean, he never really turned his head to think about running a route. Just depends on if the officials thought that the corner, Guillory, locked up with him initially. But look, I mean, he's never turning to try to find the ball.
That's straight up a block. He was confused about what was going on with the play call.
That should be
bringing Phil Lamagne in this one. They're conferencing down there, this Big Ten crew.
The onus is on the offensive player, and he went right at him.
There is no foul on the play for pass interference. 4th down.
So that miscommunication on a 3rd and 2 will send out the field goal team. We've seen enough from this OU defense. Haven't had a ton of success. A little surprised he's not going for it, though, on 4th and 2.
Am I surprised?
Yeah.
I think at this point, in a game that's going to be a low-scoring, probably one-possession game, you need points.
Well, Dominic Zavada usually gets points when he goes out there to kick field goals.
And they get the ball to start the second half.
He's an All-American kicker. Bombs him from 50-plus easily. This is a chip shot of 32 to get the Wolverines on the board. And he hooked it. No good. Don't tell me the announcer.
Oh,
he doesn't.
my God. Oh, Chris.
I know. I'm going to hear about it. But
you're dead. You're dead.
Let's talk about his technique and not what the announcer said. Mike Black is my spotter. He'll grade the technique on this one. An animated conversation over there. Underwood on the left of your picture with a teammate. Klein, who's not playing tonight, got involved, separating him.
Yeah, there was something when he came off. He was frustrated. He's talking to Justice Haynes.
Remember,
Klein's trying to get in there.
18 years old, true freshman.
You got a true freshman. You have a transfer running back from Alabama, just having a, just a little conversation to get on the same page.
I mean, Dominic Zavada is as reliable as it gets. That's a shock for him to miss a chip shot. And now Oklahoma, with 3:09 to go before halftime, gets it back.
pulled out of the kick a little bit early there. Goes to show you, even some of the best in the country, it's all about their technique. Like you said, you're used to every time he goes out there, it's put 3 points up. See what Oklahoma does here with these last 3 minutes. Probably be predicated upon if they can pick up this first down.
And Jaden Ott. Short gain. Brandon Hillman, by the way, back in the game for Wolverines, made the tackle on that play.
Michigan all 3 timeouts, have the 2-minute timeout as well. Good to see Hillman back out there. He's been flying all over this field. You're talking about a physical safety. Man, he is laying the wood on these running backs and receivers.
Made a pick against New Mexico when they were only up 10 in the third quarter on a deep ball. It was a key play in that opening win. Flag down, ball pitched downfield over the head of Deion Burks.
Yeah, there was movement up front by Michigan. Looked like 95 Trey Pierce. It's a good job of the experience of Mateer going with that hard count on 3rd down, knowing he could get that 1st down.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside. Defense number 95. The penalty is declined. Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense number 95. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
Package deal for Trey Pierce. They'll, of course, accept the major penalty, which is the first of the night against Michigan. It's in the pit here.
Yeah, he's right here. Just a little movement. He gets the hands up into the face of the center.
Got it. Didn't last that long, but he made forcible contact for sure. Short pitch to Burks, who picks up about 3.
And Michigan defense looking over to Wink Martindale to get their call.
That'll be the 2-minute timeout.
And the ball is snapped. They're still looking over there, so they caught a break being able to get in position there. I think that's what Wink was talking to him about.
So Oklahoma at their own 45, trying to add to a 7-0 lead before the break here. Talk about Littmau's student section. Only one student section can claim the title. Section of the year. We'll take home the trophy this year. Ohio State did it last year. So Oklahoma dodged a bullet with the missed chip shot by Zavada. 2nd down from the 45. His penalties in the previous Michigan drive did not hurt them after all. Mateer across the middle, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit Deion Burks, who was streaking down the field. Zeke Berry in coverage off the shoulder pad.
Yeah, off the shoulder pad. I'd like to. Mateer would love to put a little bit more air under that and lead him downfield. He threw that a little more on the line, unable to get up and over the corner.
Maybe it was the helmet.
I think it was. Yeah, top of the helmet. A little more air. I think Hillman's coming over a little bit late. He might have been able to squeeze that one in.
So 3rd and 7. Michigan may get the football back with plenty of time. 3 timeouts. Mateer throws a dart complete. 1st down inside the 45. Keontez Lewis.
This is where the continuity and experience of an offensive coordinator who comes over with his quarterback, you get in, still feel like you're comfortable in attack mode here at the end of the half.
Barnes breaks the tackle, bouncing off people. Javonte Barnes, a tough run, rips off about 9. They're inside the 35. Clock still running.
The counter play where they pull that right guard and right tackle. That opened up nicely, but effective running and great balance that time by Javonte Barnes.
Is spotted for a 1st down.
Got all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time here to work, especially in this style of offense with 3 timeouts.
Mateer running all the way, right up the middle, sidestep, and pick up about 8. And a nice block there from Panic, the tight end.
And his stop and go for a quarterback is just rare. Now in a minute, 3 timeouts. Again, very, very comfortable. They're running the quarterback. You know, half of his throws have gone to Deion Burks. So, you know, obviously you want to keep an eye on him if you're Michigan, whether you're bracketing him or keeping a safety to be able to help out.
I know they got time. They're being sort of casual here, though.
Yeah.
Down inside 45 seconds, 2nd and 2. It's here on the move, looking to throw, and it's complete again. Deion Burks down inside the 5. The man from Detroit is hurting his home state school. Big impact in the first half. It's 1st and goal.
You mentioned how he's probably playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder growing up in that region and getting a chance to go up against the Wolverines, who didn't offer him. Continue to go to number 4. That time the safety Hillman loses his feet after the catch. Plenty of room to be able to pick up those yards.
1st and goal. And they punch it in down here again. It's Barnes straight ahead.
Now they'll timeout.
Yeah, they have to. There's going to be 26 seconds to go. Burks targeted 9 times, caught 6, 91 yards, had the pop pass for a touchdown. And Oklahoma, with the way their defense is playing, trying to make this a 14-point lead before the break. Let's check in with Kevin Nagandi about what's coming up at halftime.
Chris
Kevin?
Ford, halftime report minutes away. Booger McFarland, Kevin Nagandi in studio. A pair of top 25 teams go down. What happened to Florida? A nightmare situation in the swamp. We have another developing situation going on right now. Look at this. Mississippi State all over Arizona State, Boog.
Kev, they got a can open in Starkville. But look at Blake Shapen dropping back. Look how he drops it in the bucket right there. Runs underneath it. It's 17-0, and the cowbells are ringing.
Wow, Brennan Thompson with the grab. Right now, Arizona State down 17-0. Back to you guys.
Uh-oh. Talk to me.
Somebody said that on game day. That was going to happen in Starkville.
That was my super dog. I hope Reese Davis is listening to that. You got to finish, though. You know, one reason I picked them? The cowbells at night. That was it.
Big sequence here. Oklahoma successful in the red zone before. They found Burks on that short pass. So we got 2 timeouts to work with. Trying to build his 2-score lead here. Keeper, Mateer, touchdown Oklahoma. He's crafty, tough, and strong. And his first game as a Sooner really tested by an elite defense. A pretty good first half for Mateer. And Oklahoma, statement in the first half.
And we talked about in the open, if they were going to get out of here with a win, it wasn't just going to be about his arm. It was going to be about his legs, whether it was QB design run or his ability to scramble around. It's 9 times. Ben Arbuckle told us yesterday, I'm probably going to call it, I don't know, around 8, 9 times. But his first half already 9 carries.
You know, that's 8 games going back to his career at Wazoo that he's had a touchdown run and a touchdown pass in the same game. That's a heck of a streak, longest active in the country.
Now let's take a look at our AT&T connected clicker. See the safeties here and here, and he recognizes that. Watch how he has the instincts of a running back. I mean, that's taken away. Michigan doing a pretty good job with that defensive line. But watch the space open up on the backside, and he's able to locate that. That's just natural ball carrier instincts and good, tough running there. Nice job up front. Keep in mind this stat. Since Sharon Moore's been the head coach at Michigan, they're 9-0 when they have the lead at halftime. They're 0-5 when trailing at the half. Down 14, there's Ben Arbuckle fired up. Mateer. For a guy that just got here, looks like he's been here his whole life.
You talked about the comfort level, the maturity. Michigan, by the way, Kirk, hasn't been held scoreless in the first half since 2020, the COVID year against Wisconsin. So 59 straight games. They put points on the board in the first half until this one.
And I would say there were times last year, if you said that, it was about Michigan's offense just kind of struggling to find an identity. I would say in the first 30 minutes, what we've seen tonight has as much to do with the opponent and the Oklahoma defense as much as what's going on with Michigan's offense. They're going up against a really deep and athletic and aggressive defense here in week 2.
That's why I felt it was wise to be cautious about what you saw against New Mexico in the first game. Whole different deal. 56th season of Monday Night Football kicks off. Divisional battle, Vikings and Bears, 8 Eastern, ESPN, ABC, and Deportes. And all, of course, ESPN app. Peyton Eli back on ESPN, too.
two quarterbacks probably watching this game, cheering on their schools. I will say this about, if you're a Michigan fan, keep two things in mind. Number one, you get the ball to start the second half. And also defensively, Jayshawn Barham will be back. He's been out in the first half. His QB run's been effective for Oklahoma. And number one in the middle could help negate a lot of that.
His presence missed in the first half. Marshall, short gain. Michigan with 118 total yards in this first half, just 42 on the ground. Despite getting the only takeaway in the half, Michigan down 2 scores. They will get the football to begin the third quarter. But it's Venables and that Sooners defense and their experienced new quarterback. The story of this first half. And let's go check in with Holly and Brett Venables.
Well, Coach, how would you describe the physicality and execution for your defense right now? They've made quite a statement.
Yeah, no, again, our guys are flying around knocking paint off the helmets. It looks good.
You went for it on 4th down. You've kept the ball in your quarterback's hands. Why do you trust him so much right now, especially in the run game?
Well, John sees a lot. Again, he's a coach out there on the field. I'm most impressed with the offensive line, their physicality, their ability to protect the quarterback right now. They're in a really good rhythm on offense.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, the guys up front on both sides knew it was going to be that kind of a game, a physical game decided at the line of scrimmage. Edge, Oklahoma. They're up 14-0 at the break. Kevin Nagandi, guys in the studio, will update you what's good going on all around the country on week 2.
Chris, thank you so much. The score right now, Johnny Mateer and the Sooners up 14-0 against Bryce Underwood and Michigan. We knew it was going to be tough for Underwood. 18 years old, making his first road start. Brent Venables, 21-5 against true freshman, a redshirt freshman in his career. What is Oklahoma doing so well on defense?
Well, first and foremost, they're taking the run away. Michigan's only averaging 2 yards a carry on the ground. So they're gang tackling, they're crowding the line of scrimmage, and stopping the run is a numbers game. If I have 8 defenders and you have 7 blockers, I can stop the run game. I don't understand why Michigan won't open the offense up. Why do you go out and get a quarterback like Bryce Underwood to hand the football off? Alex Orji could have did that last year. You get Bryce Underwood to throw the football down the field. If they don't open the offense up, it's going to be the same thing in the second half. They have to throw the football down the field.
Does that include moving him around as well in the pocket?
He's a dual threat guy. Move him around in the pocket and outside the pocket, because right now they are crowding the line of scrimmage. They are not threatening the Oklahoma Sooners deep.
Maybe that changes the start of the second half. Michigan will get the ball to start,
Hope it does.
that third quarter.
Watching ABC Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One. Rare collision between SEC and Big Ten ranked teams in the regular season. And Oklahoma, strong performance as a 14-point lead. Wolverines will get the football to begin the third quarter. Chris Fowler, Kirk, Herbsreit, welcome back. Well, all the focus on the new offenses, the new quarterbacks. Oklahoma's defense, to me, was the story of the first half. So, if you're Arbuckle and Michigan, how do you get the offense going? You know the defense is going to get a boost having Jayshawn Barham. This is a targeting call last week against New Mexico. Now, this negated a defensive touchdown. It was initiated by the booth. Bill Lamagne's alongside. What about that call, Bill?
Well, it's one of those calls. It was suspect right from the beginning. But one of the requirements is he's a defenseless player, and there's forcible contact where that defender is coming in and nailed him with his head first.
Very controversial. Cheryl Moore certainly vehemently disagreed. And we'll see if Barham returning helps against those quarterback runs when the Sooners get the football back. Holly?
Well, guys, Jayshawn Barham did warm up with the team before the game. He's been involved in everything he could be before that first half suspension. He has warmed up here in the second half and will be a huge boost. Many people think he is the hardest hitting player in college football, and his physical presence should help, as you pointed out, Kirk, in the quarterback run game of John Mateer. 2 other key injuries. Gio El-Hadi, one of the team captains and left guard, is likely out for the rest of this game with an ankle injury. And their best safety, you talked about, Brandon Hillman, he was throwing up right before halftime, but I'm told he can return, but he is not at full strength.
Thank you for the detailed report, Holly. Michigan football here. And off and running. Haynes in the clear. Justice Haynes in a foot race. They will not catch him. Michigan, lightning strike on the first play of the half, 75 yards. contained all half. And they, in the very first play, create a look and get a 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah, they go with that jumbo look again, that off-balance look, and had some movement before the snap. I don't know if that maybe affected the communication, but you got a couple backup offensive linemen, Blake Frazier and Lawrence Hattar, who were in there, and they ended up impacting the play on the backside.
Justice Haynes, through a slow first half, an electric play that perhaps could turn this Michigan's way. He was brilliant in the opener.
Yeah, let's take a peek at this. There's the movement, Chris. Look, there's the two backup offensive linemen. Remember, Klein is out. They're starting tight end, so their answer is to get some of these linemen. They're on the left. They're going to run this to the right and then watch the cutback and watch how they sustain their blocks on that side. Remember, Oklahoma's been cheating those linebackers and safeties down. And when you do that, if you can just make one guy miss or one guy's out of his gap, in this case it's 22, Bowen. And you got it back, as we've said, with Justice Haynes, who's always been known for his powers, worked on acceleration and that long speed. We saw it last week against New Mexico, and you see it tonight, first play of the second half to get Michigan back into this game.
One of the things skill position players do in the offseason, they do that speed training. It's arduous work, just trying to add a little bit more burst. He had a 56-yard run in the opener, and now the longest run for Michigan in 3 years right there.
Yeah, and like I said, Marlon Klein out. Frazier and Hattar come in, that jumbo look, trying to create that extra gap for this Oklahoma defense to have to account for. And it's the running game. You know, you're thinking down 14-0 with a freshman quarterback. They're going to have to start to become an obvious passing team, and instead they stick to their guns, and it pays off.
They've relied so much on tight ends the last couple of years. Nobody in the country has a higher percentage of targets to the tight end. That's why it's a really big deal that Klein, their captain, can't go tonight.
And this is part of the emotion. This is an RPO on a third and short. You can see a disagreement. The receiver was actually blocking. They wave off the flag. You can see that Justice Haynes arguing there, continues on the sideline. Eventually, cooler heads would prevail. You know, the experience of Haynes talking, the quarterback very animated with, hey, this is what I saw, you know. And Justice Haynes is a great teammate, but a guy that needs to understand when you got a young quarterback on the road, especially with the captains down, Klein and El Hadi, he needs to be there to help him in those kind of situations.
Underwood not afraid to bring some fire as an 18-year-old freshman. It's here from the pocket, slings it. Short catch. Sooners do have their tight end, and Kanik is a key part of the offense. Makes the grab, picks up a short gain. Holly?
Well, guys, you talked about that quick little scuffle on the sideline, or, you know, heated conversation, but we talked to Justice Haynes this week. He could not rave enough about Bryce Underwood and the maturity of this young man. They've got it all worked out.
Well, they're all over this run by Mateer. They drop him for a loss as Trey Price will set up a first and long, and this Wolverine defense trying to do their part to turn this game around.
Of course, with Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant moving on the interior, they're looking for somebody to step up and become a difference maker this year for Michigan. They're very high on what Pierce can do physically. That time makes a big play on second down.
Sooners had an edge in the first half on third down, converted 2 3rd and 9s in their opening touchdown drive. They need 8 here to get this drive going. Michigan brings some pressure, ball batted in the air and incomplete. They came after him that time as Martindale dialed it up. Derek Moore actually got his hand on the football. A quick 3 and out.
But right away you think that Barham on third down, they love to bring him off the edge. He's lined up where we just showed you before the snap, but instead of bringing him with pressure, they drop him, they bring the pressure over here. And watch the good move by TJ Guy, a little stutter, moves to the inside, completely flat-footed, the true freshman left tackle.
It's Joe Taylor back to receive the punt. Grayson Miller. Quarterback runs a big part of their success in the first half of the Sooners. Ran a crowded defensive front that time. Fielded on the hop. And Michigan, up that 75-yard strike to get on the board, goes right back to work. Viewing this clear night, brought to you by Goodyear. Still, always, forever game ready. So Michigan, the 75-yard run by Haynes to start the half. A quick 3 and out. Wolverines operating now from their 26. Crowd trying to come back into it. They were stunned by that burst by Haynes. Right through a defense that had been very stout in the first half. This time he's going to be wrestled down in the backfield. Marvin Jones Jr. got there in a hurry.
Boy, he is having an effective game off this edge. Man, he is playing with suddenness. Watch him get off the ball. Watch how quick he is. Keep in mind how rangy and athletic. On the outside, 6'5", about 265 pounds. Started at Georgia, went to Florida State. Now here at Oklahoma. Just collapsing right away.
Big smile on the grill. He was a top 100 recruit out of high school.
Yeah.
Finally to Georgia. Underwood launches downfield, just over the hand of Zach Marshall. Tight end trying to step in for Marlon Klein tonight. Another downfield shot, just a little overthrown.
Yeah, and it's a great call coming off that big run where they had kind of a similar look, play action, get him on the edge, away from the pressure. So close to hitting the tight end for a big play. Had a couple receivers open there on that levels concept and came so close to hitting a big one there.
Wondered if they might move the pocket for Underwood more in the second half. He is much better throwing outside the pocket than inside it against this Sooner defense. 3rd and 13. Screen. Long way to go for Haynes, and he's going to be dropped for a very short gain. Peyton Bowen combining with David Stone, and Venables' defense quickly gets off the field.
And Chris, to your point, watch how quickly, again, 3rd down, you read your keys. Watch how he just sees the running back come out of the backfield, and right away he's expecting a quick throw. Whether it's a tunnel screen to a receiver or the potential of the back getting the football, as soon as the ball snapped, he's not worried about anything downfield. He's getting downhill and makes the play.
Said combination of being really well schooled and also athletic. OU defense is going to be a problem this year for opponents. Short punt fielded by Satania, and that risk is rewarded. He comes up just a 33-yard boot, and Mateer and the Sooners will take over at the 50 here. Early stages. Now a 7-point game in Norman.
I'm excited to play.
Did you grow up a Michigan fan?
I did. I'm not going to say that.
Did they recruit you?
No, Michigan did not recruit me, so I don't like them.
It's personal.
Yeah, it's definitely
you
personal.
said it was personal.
Yeah, it's personal.
Yeah.
The reason that it's personal is he grew up in Inkster, Michigan, which is not that far away from Ann Arbor. He said they didn't recruit me. So he's been feeling some kind of way for a while now, and he's letting it show in his play. And they're going to him. They understand how motivated he is to make Michigan pay.
Bellevue High School, same as Underwood, but little dip recruiting profile. This is Ott. He's knocked out in the far sideline after about a 4-yard gain by TJ Metcalf.
Right, he's had a big night, and he's using that pent-up frustration to play with an extra kind of step right tonight with what he's been able to do in different aspects, whether it's been underneath yards after the catch or getting downfield, getting him on the edge there on a jet sweep. Always plays with a chip on his shoulder. I think OU fans are just happy to see him healthy. You know, last year their top 5 receivers, top 5. You ever heard of that? Out for almost a majority of the year. So good to see most of those guys left through the portal. Good to see Burks back and leading the way for the Sooners.
Touchdown in each of the first 2 games. It's here on 2nd and 3rd. Off the hands. It's picked off and dropped twice. Jair Hill had a chance to pick it off the hands once, and then on the carom, that would have been an easy pick. Couldn't hold on to it.
What a job here by Hill not giving up on the play, because it looks to me that he is beat downfield. I mean, look at this. There's nobody in the middle of the defense. Lay that downfield. Instead, he throws it on a line and allows Hill to, with his speed, to make up for it. And then he doesn't throw it up and over him, so it's easy to be able to get his long arms up to be able to knock that one away. But
credit Satania for breaking up the potential interception right there, getting an arm in.
Great catch, good effort.
So it's 3rd and 8. Pressure. Mateer escapes and slings it downfield into traffic. Catch made. Satania Situational brilliance from Matier that time. How did he escape?
Well, they dial up the blitz perfectly right here with Hillman. He's there to make the sack, but it's tough to bring this guy down. And then the arm strength and the accuracy downfield. Satania just makes the play to knock it away from the Michigan defender, Hill, to keep the interception away. And then this time comes down with a great catch after that scramble.
You're right. That's back-to-back plays. You keep possession for your team. Then you get downfield, trusting your quarterback with that strong arm is going to find you. What a ball he threw on the move.
Well, there's the leg strength that Holly talked about. What is it, 475-pound squat that Matier has. When you're down on the field looking at him, you can see how strong he is.
They're going to see.
Here, if he stepped out of bounds maybe a little earlier than they marked.
Just keep it going. And marking him out inside the 5. Still in there.
That was close back there on the
8-9 yard line.
Yeah, maybe
or 14.
Yeah, back further.
Looks like there the toe is in, if that's the step in question.
Ooh, defender trying to knock that ball out. He was away from his body.
What a play, though, by Matier. I mean, all the skills on display, right? The strength to get away, on the move, the arm to find the receiver downfield. Rest of Pyle and Cam. Let's see if we get a definitive look.
Well, the one spot is just that right foot back there. I mean, that's around the 14-yard line. That's the one that they're trying to figure out.
Got to brighten that up.
Or out. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Chris. I mean,
After review, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 14-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 at the 14.
Okay, they saw enough, I guess, to rule him out of bounds. It was a 35-yard play, so not 1st and goal, but set up at the 14.
Well, inside what we now know about Oklahoma's offense this year, well, you know, with Matier running this, the playbook is so open for Ben Arbuckle. But quarterback run has got to always be a factor, not just the creativity, but the design QB run gives you +1 on that defense.
Blaylock is the back. Cannick, the tight end in the backfield, as a blocker. And Blaylock plows ahead, picks up about 4 to the 10.
We're going right into the teeth of that defense. Barham is back in, #1, along with 15, Hausman.
Can't be better in the red zone. Michigan player is now down. And Zeke Berry, had they spotted the ball the time that he went down. That's a
he came up limping.
College football.
Yeah, right out of the pile. He was already injured. He tried to walk it off, and then eventually had to go down. You know, this era of fake injuries, this was nowhere close to being a fake injury.
No, I'm not suggesting, but they're trying to make it an emphasis. Once they place the ball, then if you go down, seems let's keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I mean, once he gets into the pile, I mean, right as soon as he came out of there, you could tell it probably got stepped on by one of his own teammates. Once he gets up, you can tell he's not feeling good. Right away, he's already reaching down.
Yeah, he did try to get up. That should not be a timeout assessed. Take a break. 2nd and 7. Oklahoma threatening to add to the 7-point lead. Oklahoma in the red zone for the 3rd time tonight. The first 2 trips resulted in touchdowns. So Zeke Berry out. That's not a position that they're blessed with a whole bunch of depth at this point, Kirk.
They brought Jaden Sanders into the game up at the top of the screen. They've got some injuries, not a lot of depth there.
2 tight ends on the left for Oklahoma. Blaylock is the back. Matier running all the way. Gets free. Matier. Touchdown, Oklahoma. That drive was all on the quarterback. And the Sooners stretch it back to 2 scores.
Well, Matier, we just talked about what a threat he is. And Cannick against Barham what a matchup that is. It's a linebacker that's moved over to tight end and has a chance to try to help his quarterback out, because I was looking for one in white to make a play potentially on the quarterback if he decided to run it. And he got blown up there by Canick, and a great block that sprung the quarterback loose.
Another effective design run. It's always been a part of Mateer's game. Michigan had to expect it. They haven't really been able to stop it consistently. 2 rushing touchdowns.
I think they know the threat and what Mateer can do. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's good chance he's going to have his hands on the football. And this is who we really want to see what he could do down in this area. But watch this block and the job that 12 does coming around on this counter play. Bang, right there. I mean, he knows what his assignment is. He's a former linebacker, about 245 pounds. He knows how good number 1 is. Bang, what a play. Great blocking downfield, and quarterback's able to walk in for that touchdown.
Yeah, he's a threat catching the ball. As a next linebacker, you know he loves the physical blocking. They say he's really a huge tape study guy. Takes every part of the job, all the details seriously, and he springs the quarterback, and Mateer having a big night.
I'm not comparing him to Baker Mayfield. Bake's probably out there watching, but I'm just telling you the energy that he can bring to this offense, to this team, to this stadium. It's contagious. It's a belief. And I'm only watching him as the second time in this uniform, but we didn't see this at all the last couple of years for Oklahoma.
From the goal line, Marsh, the freshman, is going to be knocked down. Oklahoma fans wondered, we know he can play. Can he take a team and put it on his back when he has to make a play? Because Baker did, Kyler Murray did. I mean, you can go on and on. Jalen Hurts. Quarterbacks they've had here.
Pretty good run.
Caleb Williams when he had to.
Yeah.
Maybe Mateer has the makings of that kind of ability. College game day rerouted to Knoxville.
Yep.
On Rocky Top.
Yep. Improvise and adjust. INA, as Lee Corso says. Strong chance that we were headed to Morgantown. They get upended down in Athens, Ohio by the Bobcats.
You don't walk into Frank Solich Stadium.
No.
Expect to have your way.
No. No, the Bobcats took care of the Mountaineers. So game day headed to Knoxville.
Underwood under pressure on the move. Escapes. Flag comes in late as he's shoved out hard behind the line by Owen Heineke. Comes in the area where you suggest it was maybe a hold.
Holding. Offense number 70. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
That's Brady Norton, the guard out there on the edge trying to make a block for his quarterback.
Yeah, anytime the quarterback moves, and that's, you know, R. Mason Thomas, who, there's the grab right there. R. Mason Thomas, who we thought we'd be calling his name a little bit more. Haven't done a lot of it at this point, but because of how effective he is, the quarterback moves outside. He's quick to react, and all the offensive lineman could do there was grab on.
One of the better pass rushers in the SEC last season, Thomas. He had 9 sacks. Kept in check tonight. Way behind the sticks. 1st and 18 now. Crowd as loud as it's been tonight. Underwood. Trapped behind the line again by Heineke. Back-to-back plays made by the backup linebacker for the Sooners.
Chris, these guys are so dialed in on these pre-snap movement. Watch how, as this movement happens, watch how the defense responds. The threat of the jet sweep taken away, and the quarterback coming around the back way taken away. Nowhere to go on that play. Completely dialed in and prepared, and then responding in real time. Nowhere to go for Michigan, and they dig themselves a deeper hole.
2 players have lost 13 yards from the end zone. Underwood flips it underneath. The shovel pass is incomplete. Haynes was in the area, but be better off that it wasn't complete. Grayson Halton, part of the depth of this OU defensive line, provided the pressure.
Try to slip screen there to try to get him underneath, try to surprise the defense, unable to hit it. And, you know, Brent Venables calling this defense We always used to have a lot of fun. We used to DC at Clemson, the get-back guy, and all his intensity on the sideline and how fired up he would get. He's got it working tonight. This defense is very athletic. They've been deep, able to rotate bodies, and very well prepped to face this young quarterback in this Michigan offense.
3rd and 23. He's going to hand it off to Haynes. So the holding penalty on 1st down, the TFL, the incompletion, and the drive unravels quickly for Michigan. Halton again on the stop there.
There was a point after that big run by Michigan, first play in the second half, that if you watched Oklahoma football in the Venables era, it was almost like a, oh no, here we go again type of feel, I'm sure, for their fan base. But they, to their credit, they've responded. They've got to stop. They put another touchdown up to answer, and now they get the ball back up 14.
Holland back to punt in his end zone. Satania standing all the way up at the Oklahoma 45. And the lefty will drive him back to the 35. It's muffed on the ground. A scramble for it. Michigan comes up with it. A crucial mistake. The second takeaway tonight as Satania coughs it up. And Cole Sullivan on the special teams makes the recovery.
Yeah, great job of hustling downfield. Cole Sullivan is an outstanding young prospect for Michigan. Out of the Pittsburgh area, played at Central Catholic. Just a mistake here by Oklahoma. Cole Sullivan makes them pay for it. How do you get back into a game? You need to catch a few breaks, and the Wolverines capitalize. Can they capitalize after this big turn of events? That's 2 special team mistakes. Remember the roughing of the punter, now the drop punt here, plus territory. Let's see what this young quarterback can do here.
From the 31. Haynes cuts it back, plows forward for about 4.
Yeah, you're 21-7. You're on the road. Everybody in the world watching Bryce Underwood, wants to see every movement that he makes. And Sharon Moore and all of us are learning about him as we watch him. This guy is unflappable. He's in this scene. It's not been too big for him at all as far as the atmosphere. Now it's just about execution. Now it's about taking advantage of this opportunity. Let's see what he can do, and let's see who's going to help him out.
Second and 6, play fake, dart across the middle. He zipped it high and hot, and McCulley couldn't haul it in. Guillory in coverage. 3rd and 6. Yeah, this is by far the most anticipated kind of true freshman big game early in the season people wanted to see. This guy in this position, right?
Absolutely. And Brent Venables just trying to get him uncomfortable, dial up the pressure. That time brought more than they could handle. Instead of stepping into the throw, he fell off of the throw, and that's why the ball sailed on him.
3rd down's been a huge struggle tonight against this OU defense. 2 for 9. And they'll spend a timeout. Crucial moment here, midway 3rd quarter, as they try to cash in on that muff punt, cut into this lead. And Sharon Moore wants to talk about that 3rd down play. All-State bus here today. It's the All-State good hands play from today.
This is the game-winning field goal. It's the USF Bulls once again. Nico Gramatica.
They missed one earlier from long range.
Yeah, they got the ball back. Florida trying to kill the clock. It's a great, both of those guys, good coaches. Golish doing a heck of a job there in Tampa. The Bulls' big win last week against Boise. Upset the Gators today in Gainesville.
Guess who they got next? The Canes. Look out. Bulls on parade. They're making some noise here early in the season. Put them in the rankings. Here we go. 3rd and 6. Sooners crowd the line. And Haynes runs straight ahead. Toby McKenzie stopped him short. Are they thinking 2 plays to get it? They're going to need about 3 here.
I thought they might be with the play call, but instead they're bringing out the the field goal kicker looking for the 3 points. Don't say
he never misses.
Don't say
he made 15 in a row.
How about
last year?
How about I balance it out? He's got no shot. He's not going to make it.
He made 15 in a row before that 32-yarder hook.
Jinxed him. All right.
This is from 42. No chance for this one. Huh? Is that what you want me to say?
That's better.
Oh, okay.
I like that better.
No problem. That's what you expect from the preseason All-American. So Michigan takes them off when they cut it to an 11-point game. That's probably considered a victory, though, for Venables and his defense.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I mean, it was a huge opportunity. Down 14, you get a drop punt, a muff punt, plus territory, chance to put a touchdown on the board. Instead, you got to cut it to 11.
Yeah, they're -2 in the turnovers, surviving that so far. You know, Michigan trying to play without a tight end, one of their best offensive players, lose another co-captain offensive lineman. They've lost some guys on defense. So right away, early in the season, when you're trying to break in some young players, your depth is tested. They felt they had good depth on this Michigan team. We're going to see that.
Yeah, and now if they're going to climb back and have a chance to win this game, it's going to be about their defense. We've talked a lot about Underwood, he can do. But against John Mateer and his ability to run and throw, they've got to step up on that side of the football and try to create some havoc and see if they can create a turnover or 3 and out, get the ball back to the quarterback.
Oklahoma just 53 total yards in this third quarter. All of them coming on that drive. This is returnable for Ott. He bobbles it, picks it up, and he's going to be swarmed. All of a sudden, catching the football in special teams has become a serious problem for Oklahoma. They're going to be set back at the 7-yard line.
And really, these blunders haven't quite cost him the way they could. But you're right, it's becoming a challenge here. Ott looked like he was, got underneath it. There's nothing there to affect that other than he just lost a ball. I'm sure that's going to be something that Brent Venables and a special teams crew is going to be working to improve.
Doug Deacon is a special teams coach. They made big improvement from the previous year when they came on board. But 2 misplayed simple plays have been potentially really costly. You're right, not so far, but let's see if Michigan can get the stop, get the ball back in good position here. That's Kanik, and he started blocking guys, bouncing off tacklers. Love an ex-linebacker playing on offense.
What a great move for him, personally and for his team to be able to move over in that spot and get some opportunities. You can see at 22 through 24, linebacker had 10 starts and was really in the rotation. And then last week, let everybody know the move was a good move, and we've seen it continue tonight.
Bauer Sharp at LSU, the tight end that transferred away for Oklahoma. Their leading receiver a year ago, so definitely a void there.
We've seen Barnes, Blaylock, a little bit of Jaden Ott. Jaden Ott was almost as big a news as John Mateer coming over from Washington State. Ott from Cal, a transfer portal guy. Only has 5 carries in 6 quarters this year.
And the ball deflected and almost intercepted. So once again, Mateer looks for one of those seam routes. That time Jimmy Rolder got a hand on it.
With a backup linebacker, a veteran, been injured a lot throughout his career. Good job with that right hand getting up. First time really they said he's been healthy coming out of a camp maybe in 5 years, going even back to high school.
Freshman corner Jaden Sanders is in there with the injury to Barry, a guy that we haven't seen play a whole lot. Kind of brought him up from the depth chart. Forced into duty here on 3rd and 4. Mateer, they were thinking about running, and Michigan all over that. He hesitated, and coming in from his safety position was Jaden Mangum. And Oklahoma stops quick again.
Well, they keep coming with this same blitz off this edge right here. He starts to cheat up, and this time he's coming in with a little bit of a different kind of approach. Hillman's come in there, and he didn't wrap up. This time you see the safety 3 come in with that same blitz, and right away hits him, but then is able to get his arms and wrap him up to help bring him down. Good job, 33 Nichols also contributing to that sack.
Morgan to receive Miller's punt. It's a good one. Got it up in the jet stream. Drives the returner way back inside the 20. OU trying to track him down. Morgan at a little bit of a crease, but quickly closes, and they stop him at the 22. In the history of true freshman quarterbacks making notable road starts, Michigan's Chad Henne, it was a tight loss to Notre Dame. Like 2004, Matt Barkley, we were there in Ohio State when Trojans came in there as a slugfest, got the win. Jalen Hurts won at Ole Miss as a true freshman. We were also there.
Yeah.
No, that's not the Oregon game. That wasn't a road start. He beat Oregon.
Neutral
then he goes to A&M and gets the road win. So Michigan from the 22. Marshall is the back. Sooners still crowding the line, expecting a first down run. It's a play fake. He looks downfield, arcs the ball, and it is fought for and caught. Donovan McCulley went up and got it over Robert Spears-Jennings. Finally, a first down shot. You're waiting for that.
Yeah, and they go with that tighter formation to be able to get one to the inside and then across. See him working at the top, the center of your screen. I mean, he's pretty covered. That's a great throw to just give the big receiver a chance. It's 6'5", and what focus to be able to bring that down. It began on the back of his helmet.
Long arms help.
Yeah, he brought it in.
So the explosive play sets him up inside the 35. Marshall is short gain. Watch the focus here. Reaching around, you didn't even really see the ball.
David Tyree in the Super Bowl, the Giants almost type of catch there, the back of the helmet, but what effort. That's what we said. Can they get the ball downfield? Can you have that shot play? That was a massive concern for Michigan's offense a year ago, worst in the country. Only 17 pass plays over 20 yards. They needed that one.
It was for 44. Marshall again. Sets up third manageable.
Talking about not being able to get plays downfield. That's a big reason they went out and brought in Donovan McCulley. I mean, through recruiting and the transfer portal, got a guy down, 70. It's Brady Norton.
Again, this offense, 129th in yards per game, 4th worst pass yards per game. They struggle big time in the red zone. I mean, not many categories they excel in. Still managed to beat Ohio State and Alabama in the bowl game at the end of the year, thanks to that great defense. Expecting huge improvement this year. Holly?
Well, guys, it's really stood out to me, the composure of Bryce Underwood. I mean, he turned 18 2 weeks ago, and it's been loud down here. Sharon Moore told us that he put 2 huge speakers behind him at practice all week that got up to 115 decibels, so it would calm the chaos in his head. And I'm just going to tell you, I haven't seen him look flustered a single time out here. He's operating this offense well, stepping up in the pocket. I just can't believe the composure of this young man right now.
Trying to convert on 3rd and 3, Holly. Marshall, and he's got the first down as they move it down to the 21.
How about Cornera, 53, coming in for that play for Brady Norton? They run right behind you. Good job helping out in that combination block in the inside. Shows the trust and confidence that they have. It's right here. He's got to come down, help out, help the center out, open it up. Good hard running. It's a big series here for the Wolverines. They need a touchdown. Can't settle for a field goal in the red zone.
Bredesen comes in motion. Back foot throw. And, we had wide open. McCulley was running right down the field, uncovered. He threw it toward the pylon. Pressure came from Halton that time.
Now, the defender reacts to the ball in the air. If you really slow it down and watch as he releases the ball, he thinks he's going to the fade in the corner, but he's just kind of hesitating. See, once the ball's thrown, the defender reacts. He just almost seems like he was baiting him, setting him up on like an option route, but just not on the same page there with the quarterback.
Marshall. Hard-earned 4 yards. Dominic Williams wrestled him down. 3rd down and long again.
This defensive line's played well against the Michigan front. A lot of movement. They get size and athletic ability. Let's see, Chris, you talked earlier about how getting him outside of the pocket, moving that launch point, giving him some time. Let's see if they do that here.
They do, Kirk. He's on the move. Slings it across the middle. Incomplete. He's broken up trying to find McCulley. And that freshman you talked about and praised, Cortland Guillory, in coverage. And they send the field goal team out again.
A frustrating way for this drive to end. They were moving it after that big pass play. They got him outside, but tight coverage there.
So the 44-yard circus catch by McCulley, setting up this field goal attempt as they try to cut the lead to 8. And Zavada from 35 does that. Final minute and a half of the 3rd quarter. Michigan outscoring the Sooners 13-7 in this quarter. SEC on ABC and the all-new ESPN app next weekend. Matinee in Knoxville as the Dogs visit Rocky Top. And in primetime, LSU, the Florida Gators, off that loss today, that walk-off field goal to USF, part of a really rough schedule, has to go to the Bayou. Oklahoma's offense, other than that escape and throw downfield by Mateer to get them down in scoring position, not a lot in the 3rd quarter. Michigan beginning to focus in on those design quarterback runs. Chance for Ott to field this one. He makes the fair catch at the 1 after bobbling the last one. The playbook brought to you by Modelo tonight, Kirk.
John Mateer's lived up to the hype. The ball placement backed up in his own end zone, takes a hit after the throw. Great ball downfield to Burks. A lot of accuracy on the move tonight. Pressure that time from Hillman. Look at this throw down that right sideline. What a throw, and then the dual threat. You know, he leads them in rushing. He gets down in the red zone. You could pretty much lock it. Somehow, some way, they're going to go with a quarterback run, and he's a couple times been able to get down in there and been able to put points up on the board.
Lead's gone from 14 to 8, though, with those 2 field goals, and now, just when I thought the design runs were being snipped out by Michigan, he runs for 5 yards on 1st down.
And how about Wade Martindale telling us this week, he said one of the biggest keys is we know this guy's going to run the football, but we've got to treat him like a running back. We've got to punish him. We've got to hit him and not make him want to run the football. So he knows he's going to run. You know he's going to run. And yet it's so hard to really get a clean hit on him because he just has that spatial awareness and feel of when to kind of be elusive and when to run with power and when to get down.
Strength to take the hits, too.
Has he taken a big hit? Like, have you seen a hit? You said,
not real high, no.
I haven't seen one.
Play clock at 2. It's Blaylock this time. off the left side for a short gain. It's going to set up 3rd and 3. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. Again, you'd think Mateer runs are the focal point for this Michigan defense at this point.
They're going to let the game clock run down here into the quarter.
Final quarter of this second ever Michigan-Oklahoma collision. Big Ten visiting the SEC. We'll be back for the fourth after this message and a word from your local ABC stations. Back for the fourth quarter of the SEC on ABC. SEC all day presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. First of a home and home. Wolverines will host the Sooners next season in the Big House. And Michigan goes to Texas in 2027. We applaud teams for taking on the challenges of these big non-conference collisions. Great for the sport and its fans. Well, Mateer barrels ahead. Appeared to lose the ball at the end. He gets it back, but it's another first down on the ground for the quarterback.
He goes right behind the man in motion, Jaron Kennick again. He's looked like a great receiving tight end last week, and tonight he's been a bruiser.
First down throw, and then he can make a catch on the edge. Look at the maneuverability. He says, wait a second, Kirk, I'm not just a bruiser. I can get in space. I can make a play.
Yeah. Well, we saw that again last week, but tonight he's been more physical. By the way, great blocks. This is an unselfish group of wide receivers that I'm seeing from Oklahoma. Good job downfield, helping him out get first down yards.
Mateer again takes off and weaves through traffic, dodges a man, knocked down after a short gain. We haven't seen Deion Burks, who was the main weapon for the passing game in the first half. Haven't seen him targeted yet after halftime. I wonder if number 4 is overdue to make an impact play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, right now it's more about managing the clock and being smart with the football. Yeah, they're in a very different tempo with this 8-point lead now in the fourth quarter.
Dreyer Hill has single coverage on Burks on the right of the formation. A lot of time for Mateer with those underneath. That was a target for Burks finally, but not an accurate throw. It was behind him. It'll bring up third down.
Fans reacting to TJ Guy's hit there on Burks after the ball was incomplete. They do a great job with it. Bill, what's your take on that one?
No question. He knew the ball was incomplete. He had the opportunity to stop. He put a last-second hit on it.
So what do you mean? What do you say?
Supported the flag.
Okay.
3rd and 7.
Well, they got a lot of guys walked up.
Got to hurry here. 1 on the play clock. Just got it off. Pressure. Flips it. And wide open. Barnes leaked out of the backfield. They lost him. Big gain down inside the 25 as they move to 6 on a crucial third down with a 16-yard pickup.
So I think he's got 7 defenders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 6 to block. Knows what his answer is. He knows this offense just lets Barnes clear out. Nobody there to pick him up because 7 guys blitz. Great recognition, and like we say, another answer here for the experienced Mateer in this system.
Reverse, flea flicker, Mateer to the end zone, overthrew Kennick. Oh, the trickery, and it got what they wanted. The tight end was running free. One of the few misfires Mateer's had tonight.
Well, Kennick's been so good tonight. I just don't know if he was going as fast as he could on this route. He does a good job of delaying it, then leaking out, and just not able to bring that down. They had Michigan out of place. Barham there with his eyes in the backfield. Good job, like I said, being patient there by the tight end, and then he releases late. Execution perfect, just not able to connect there, just off the fingertips.
A little trickery from Ben Arbuckle. And now the pressure off the edge. Matier escapes and throws it away. They tried to tackle him high. He just spun right out of the sack. That was Mason Curtis who had him in the grasp.
They keep coming on the right side of this offensive line. That was the zone pressure. Again, brought one more than they could handle on that side and able to affect the timing. They just can't. They have a hard time bringing him down because of that leg strength.
3rd and 10. Oklahoma did not attempt a field goal in the opening game. Tate Sandell in from UTSA. They were scoring touchdowns against Illinois State. Pressure again. Matier on the move, slings it into the bench. Once again, Wink Martindale forces the issue. Cameron Brandt came on the blitz, and there will be a field goal try here.
Wink Martindale down in this red zone area. He starts bringing pressure here, but what I love is just in case you're able to get away, we got a spy this time. Just in case Matier's thinking about taking off, there's 15 spying him, mirroring him. No chance to be able to use his legs there.
Solid kicker at UT San Antonio, the lefty. First attempt as an Oklahoma Sooner. And it is sliding wide to the left. He missed it, and a chance to stretch it back to a 2-score lead. Instead, Moore and Michigan still down 8. Inside the helmet view, zooming back into the field. Special teams, a problem for Oklahoma tonight. You know, you figure Kirk in a game pretty evenly matched. 2 stout defenses. Special teams could be important. A few miscues by the Sooners. The lead is still 8 off the 42-yard miss. Underwood briefly in the pocket, escapes, scrambles right up the middle. He is a very big, strong, athletic guy. Quickly scrambles for 8.
6'4", 230 pounds, more comfortable throwing the football, but obviously can be effective as a runner in his own right. That time, what I love is how quickly he made that decision to get out of there. He saw it open up, took off, and got positive yards instead of waiting to potentially force a throw.
Good drive starter for the Wolverines. Inside of 12 minutes to play.
And Moore jogged down to get a timeout. It wasn't about the play clock. I don't know if he didn't like the look.
Before the ball was snapped. Timeout. Michigan. Their first of the half. 30 seconds.
So Michigan trying to launch a drive here within 8 points of a tie.
ABC's Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Goodyear blimp above. Still always forever game ready. You can see some maize and blue sprinkled in. Michigan fans did buy a fair amount of tickets. They said they were really well treated by Oklahoma. These 2 programs, blue blood programs, no beef, no bad blood between them. And Oklahoma fans have really enjoyed having Michigan people on their campus.
Yep.
And the Wolverine fans, it's kind of a novelty to be able to travel to an SEC place.
Traveled well. Like you said, a lot of maize sprinkled throughout the whole stadium beside their assigned seating location.
To the feel-good thing, we're used to Red River or Bedlam down here. It's a totally different vibe.
Yeah. Look at this first to blitz, the experience in the system versus a young quarterback.
And they run it with Haynes. He powers for a first down. The drive is up and going now. They get to the 37.
That's the beauty of having Haynes and Marshall. Even though Haynes has done most of the carries at 17 tonight for 123. You expect to see them not just tonight, but all season, assuming they're able to stay healthy, being one of the better combination backs in college football, and keep them both fresh for 4 quarters by sharing those carries.
Haynes, the workhorse last week, back-to-back 100-yard games to start his season. First down, Underwood from the pocket. He'll be dragged down and sacked. Ran out of time very quickly. Sammy Amasigo and Jaden Jackson provided pressure from the middle, too.
Yeah, it's one thing to get the set the edge, but it's another thing to get a push through the interior. That's just brute strength, working right over top of the center, Greg Crippen. Jaden Jackson, true freshman a year ago, athletic, physical clearly, and gets Michigan behind the sticks. Interesting play call here for Chip Lindsey.
They better hurry, Kirk, or they have to spend another timeout. Yep. Play clock's already down at 3-2, and yeah. Sharon Moore in this drive, down 8, has now had to spend 2 timeouts in short order. You said the operation wasn't that crisp after the sack.
Yeah, that's like you say, 2 of them here on this series where you'd love to be able to keep those in your back pocket in a one-possession game. Puts that much more of an emphasis on this series, every series.
Step aside, Michigan trying to get moving, but come back with the 2nd and 15. QB comparison tonight brought to you by Dr. Pepper. You can see how busy Mateer has been. Dominant part of the offense, 30 pass attempts. He's also run it 15 times. Underwood, 121 through the air. A couple of crucial runs, but Michigan here now needs to make a play at 2nd and 15. Pressure, back foot throw, incomplete. They came after Underwood, and his throw was off target. Kip Lewis and McKenzie bringing the heat.
Boy, it's easy to sit up here, but if he had a little bit more time here, Zach Marshall, 83, works down on the wheel route. Nobody follows him. Just had another hitch, and would have been able to see that. That's a touchdown. That's a bust. Good to see Samaj Morgan back out there. Remember Marlon Klein not out there.
Morgan 1 catch tonight for 19 yards. 3rd and 15. And it's batted down at the line. Oklahoma's pressure affecting the quarterback again. Heineke's had a big ball game, harassing, chasing the quarterback, and getting his hand on that one.
Yeah, he does a good job of working around, and he's a guy that just is going to give you everything he has. 6'1", 227 pounds. He was at Ohio State, but now playing football, he's playing lacrosse. And he ends up transferring to Oklahoma in the last couple of years, and he's been effective linebacker for Brent Venables.
Is there more NIL in football than lacrosse?
I think so.
Probably.
I would think.
Catch made. Backs pedals and makes it at the 18. Ollie Venables back calling the signals tonight.
Well, he not only called the signals tonight, but he actually was the scout team quarterback for much of the week. I went to practice on Thursday, and he was pretending to be Bryce Underwood. He was giving his defense all kinds of crazy looks, making sure they're in the right spots. During one defensive period, his defense had 11 interceptions, and I said to Brent, I said, be honest, were you just throwing it to them to gain confidence? He said, no, I was throwing it to spots, and they were in the right spot. And I think he was right, guys, because his defense had been in the right spots tonight. Good job by the scout team quarterback.
It's a quirky thing he's done since he was at Clemson. You know, you see him out there.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing the football.
Yeah. He's done that since I've basically known him as a coordinator. One of the few I've ever seen run the scout team quarterback.
Mateer weaving around, gets a block on the edge, gets another block, makes a cut, and Mateer all night long has been bedeviling that Michigan defense. Picks up 19 more on the edge.
Well, this is the danger. Cameron Brandt on the outside. Watch the decision he makes to engage instead of holding his outside and holding the edge to a defense. When you're playing against a quarterback like this, you have no idea where he's capable of going. You've got to be able to keep him inside and not let him bounce. That time he got outside of Brandt for those yards.
Rush yards piling up. He's got 74 now tonight, Mateer does. That time, run goes backwards.
If you look at tonight, and Chris, you look at the big picture, the Oklahoma has as tough of a conference schedule as anybody in the SEC. I think they have one of the toughest schedules in the country.
No doubt.
And I think Ben Arbuckle, as he grows within this offense, they are going to have to find a true running game to complement Mateer. You know, he leads them tonight in passing, obviously, and also rushing. But eventually, they're going to have to find Blaylock and Ott and Barnes. They're going to have to find more balance in this offense as they grow into the SEC.
Yeah, you're right. It's very hard to sustain 16 quarterback runs week after week with the pounding you take in the conference. A lot of time. And Mateer throws it into traffic, but Kanik makes the catch by out of his hand. I thought, uh-oh, that's a dangerous throw, but he found the tight end.
I mean, you've got a 21-13 lead, and I'm all for this guy, and he's fun to watch, but that's about as risky of a throw that you're going to make in a fourth quarter with an 8-point lead as you're ever going to see. I mean, he just waits, and then flips it into coverage, in the middle of coverage, and
they do throw for it on 3rd and 1, and Keontae Lewis makes the grab. I know he's experienced, but he does have a little bit of an interception thing. If you look at his history, he's thrown a few.
But I guess I got to go back to our visit yesterday with Ben Arbuckle, and we were asking him, like, what's his wiring like? What's he like? What's your system like? And he was like, listen, whether we're up or we're down, we're going to have the same mentality. And that was a great example of it right there.
On the end around, Satania, he's explosive, doesn't need much to get going. Turns the corner, and just like that, picks up 8 before Mangan gets him down.
I guess it's just an aggressive mindset as an offense. You know, this is not an offense this year you're going to watch with a new offensive coordinator that's going to, oh, hey, we got an 8-point lead. Let's run the ball. Let's be careful. Like the conventional wisdom working with an 8-point lead, I don't think that is really who Ben Arbuckle is. I think it's keep your foot on the gas is more of his approach.
I agree. 2nd and 2, you figure they're going to run it here. Blaylock, you're trying to shove him forward. Jayshon Barnum made the stop. It's going to be 3rd down and about a half yard.
And this is like, if you're Michigan, this is a huge series for the defense. Obviously, at 8 points, already expended all of their timeouts. They've got to get a stop. Even a field goal potentially could do them in. Oh,
You said when they spent those two. You said when they spent those two was going to put extra urgency on every series. That's what's happening here.
Yep.
Oklahoma using the play clock here. In this 3rd and about a half yard. I formation. Barnes is the tailback under center. They hand it to him, and he fresh set it down. It's 1st down at the 35. They can still chew on the clock some more now.
This offensive line, you know, we've talked so much about Mateer and Arbuckle and these new receivers and the backs. This is a lot of fresh faces on this offensive line, one of which is hobbling off the field here, the young freshman, Fasusi.
Well, comes from Nigeria, a tremendous story. Stepping in and starting after missing the opener. He hobbles off on 1st down. Breaking free, Barnes. A workhorse tonight. Picks up 9 more.
This potentially could be as impressive as anything I've seen tonight, other than a play or two from Mateer. Just when you have to be able to run the football against a very physical front of Michigan's, and you can do it. I mean, that's really, I think, taking that next step for this Oklahoma offense. That 4-minute offense, when you know you got to run it and it still can be effective.
Again, makes it a very manageable 2nd down. Mateer dancing around and will eventually dive forward for a 1st down inside the 25. And the clock continues to run.
It's backyard football, and it's fine. It's organized backyard football with number 10. Just a fierce competitor. I bet you if you played him in ping pong later tonight, he'd whip your butt. I mean, he's that guy, right?
Yeah, forget about hoops or baseball.
Everything.
3-sport star.
He just has that mentality.
the right side. Stop him behind the line. Holly?
Well, guys, I actually asked him any fun stories about himself off the field, and John Mateer said he's actually very good at pickleball, so we're not far off about the ping pong.
Okay.
Spends his time to relax, also competing.
Ferociously athletic sport of pickleball.
Have you ever played that?
Yes, I have.
You like it?
I'm a tennis guy. I like paddle, too, but yeah.
Paddle's fun.
Yeah. Now, pickle's fun. I don't think of it as being the most athletic sport. But I'm sure John could do anything. Behind the 6 here, 2nd and 11, inside of 340. Easy pitch and catch on the far side. That's Burks. Such a big impact in the first half. Quieter after halftime. Barnum stops him, but it sets up 3rd and 2.
8 runs, 3 passes on this drive. And again, what I love is gets back in that empty set, the gun, confidence that they have in a quarterback to be able to be not only an accurate throw, but make a safe, good decision. There's a trust there, week 2. And he delivers to give him a chance here, 3rd and short. Clock still moving.
Empty backfield, sure looks like quarterback run. Mateer, they grab his face mask and a flag comes in, about 4 of them. Trey Williams, they had him stopped, and they grabbed the face mask, and that's going to be a stinging penalty against the Wolverines.
Yeah, Michigan, it looked like TJ Guy had blown the play up. Will Huggins, a tight end, he just threw
Personal
him.
Foul. Face mask. Defense number 0. The penalty is half the distance to the goal.
It's going to be
Automatic
4th down.
first down.
Yeah, TJ Guy made the play. It's going to be 4th down. They're going to at least attempt a field goal, and instead the face mask gives them the first down inside the 10-yard line.
The clock is as important as anything else right now, especially with Moore having to spend those 2 timeouts. Or choosing to, anyway. Barnes, nothing fancy, just drives the leg forward for a couple more yards. Next time they snap it, it'll be right about the 2-minute timeout.
Yeah, that's 12 plays on this drive, almost 8 minutes of clock that they have chewed up here on this drive.
As you said, to run it when they know you're going to run it and still do it against a physical front. Impressive.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the next step. It's one thing to have Mateer and Arbuckle in this new offense, but we just talked about as they get into the SEC play, they're going to have to get gritty and tough, and kind of showing that here on this drive.
You can run this right down. You can see that the game clock and play clock are synced up. They snap it, and Mateer beginning to come downhill in a hurry, and him is stopped. This is the 2-minute timeout. It'll be 3rd and goal. Hausman made the stop.
He took a hit there.
So they can set up and a chip shot field goal. If they don't find the end zone, we'll put the lead back to 11. Sooners just trying to finish off Michigan in this hard-fought battle tonight. Final 155. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Capital One. The SEC on ABC. 13-play, 74-yard drive.
You know, they've had some great quarterbacks here recently. Go back to Bake and Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams. You could throw Dylan Gabriel in there. And they needed a guy. They went out to the portal and found him. And it's not just what he's doing with his feet and with his arm. It's the energy and the attitude that he's bringing in. Plays with a chip on his shoulder. The crowd is reacting to him. He already owns the place. He just got here.
Got to finish the job here in 3rd and goal. Backpedaling, flips it short. Catch made. Blaylock cannot escape the tackle. Barham tracked him down when he was thinking about getting to the end zone, and Moore hustles down to spend a timeout here.
That's man against man. That is a foot race and a good effort there by one in white. He came up a little bit. Ginger, you can see him there still kind of nursing that right leg. That's man-to-man coverage. Look at the range there of the 6'3", 245-pound linebacker trying to stay up with a true freshman.
He's 40 pounds bigger than the guy that he ran down.
Yeah. And great effort, because if he gets 2 more yards, obviously this game's over, and sets up a 4th and goal.
Barham, of course, who sat out the first half with that controversial targeting call a week ago, has made a difference, you think, after halftime on this defense?
Yeah, for sure.
He was missed in the first half.
But he and Hausman together in the middle, the two alphas of that defense.
So remember, they missed a field goal earlier. Tate Sandell, very solid kicker at UT San Antonio. And he was accurate in a dome. They kick in a dome there. Came in, and his first attempt as a Sooner, 43, slid wide left. This is basically an extra point.
But from the left hash.
It's a tricky angle, I suppose. If you're an Oklahoma fan, you know the kicking has been a problem. Fans were saying, please, this could be a close game. Don't have it come down to kicking.
Right.
They're a little wounded from last year, in recent years.
Yeah, I don't blame them. But again, remember those 2 timeouts that Michigan had to use? It allowed Oklahoma to work over 8 minutes on that 14-play drive.
So 21 yards from an angle to make this a 2-score game. No problem. Biggest part of that drive, sure, they had 3 points. They took 8:27 off the clock. A grinding 15-play, 78-yard drive. That's the longest they've had under Venables as head coach here at Oklahoma.
Like I said, that's probably as impressive as anything that they've shown tonight is the ability to run the ball when you have to. That's what great offenses do, and that's what Mateer did there.
All smiles, those big fellas that he worked so hard to develop chemistry with. Let's go to Kevin Nagandi and check in. It's now an 11-point game, 1:44 to play.
Chris, you talk about smiles in Stark Vegas. Just after Arizona State took its first lead of the night, Blake Shapen and Brendan Thompson. What happened to the defense, Sun Devils? 58 yards, and Mississippi State back on top, and they just got 90. Look like they're about to seal this game over on ESPN2, 24-20.
What do you know? Good ball game there, it looks like. Jeff Levy, former Sooner.
Yeah.
Big win for him. Congrats to Coach Levy.
Seeing some playoff teams from a year ago really struggle, right? Arizona State goes down.
Dude, you feel the same juice I'm feeling in this stadium, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Long way to go, but I think it's a
long way to go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's been a while since you've kind of felt this here in Norman.
Well, different vibe than the end of the year. The year the season was basically lost, and they played for pride to beat Alabama in here. Marsh knocked down across the 25. That was a great performance. They spoiled Alabama's playoff, but you're talking about the beginning of the season, you're trying to set the tone for a new year, right? Yeah. Chick-fil-A bringing you the rankings, as we saw a lot of mismatches on paper, and that's pretty much the way it worked out. Clemson had to really fight from behind against Troy. A lightning delay in that game.
No one's talking about these guys. You watch these guys today? Man, they look good today. I know it's Oklahoma State, but
the old Dan Lanning, it seemed personal against
they just look fast. I feel like no one's talking about Oregon this year. It's like they're taking a year off. We need to remember they're still playing ball out at Eugene.
Well, we'll see them against tougher contests down the line. What do you think about Underwood tonight? Obviously, all eyes on him as a flag down at the line of scrimmage, by the way. 4-5 to start the game. Talked about his command since then. Before this play, we'll see if the incompletion stands.
Offside. Defense number 32 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Thomas. But since then, Kirk, 3 of 14 for 70 yards. It's been tricky against this Venables defense.
I don't think anybody would necessarily be surprised. I don't think this is something you're going to walk out of here and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I don't think that at all. I think it's when you do well as a quarterback.
No, I'm just asking to assess it.
No, I'm not saying for you. I'm just saying I think there'll be some reactions like that from some people. I look at this as when you do well as a quarterback, you get too much credit. And when a team loses like this, you get too much blame. I look at this as if I'm Michigan, I'm scouting Michigan, who can beat me in the pass game? Forget the quarterback, besides Donovan McCauley. Like, That's where they're going to have to develop. That was an issue last year, and they're going to have to continue to see Morgan continue to get better. Goodwin, hopefully they get Klein back and healthy, but they're going to have to find weapons on the outside to complement their running game with Haynes and Marshall. But his quarterback's next level.
And he's going to get better and better. But I don't care how talented you are, how poised you are, how touted you are, how many guys they've surrounded you with. When you're a true freshman and you're playing on the road against good teams like this, you're going to have nights where you struggle. The growing pains are inevitable.
Absolutely.
I don't think fans always get that. They may be expecting him to come in here and light it up like they're playing, New Mexico again.
No. And again, we'll see as the year plays out. They went up against a really good defense, one of the top defensive play callers in the country, with a team that was inspired and ready to play.
To throw on the sidelines, I'll tell you the one thing that the teams on Michigan's schedule will look at against the blitz tonight. When Venables brought heat, he didn't complete a pass. They'll 0 for 8 against the blitz. Those are one of those key analytics they'll look at. And I'm sure Jerome Moore and the offensive staff will study that.
Well, like I said, if you have people on the outside on the perimeter that when you blitz them, they can win one-on-one and separate, it makes people not want to blitz. But until you prove you can do that consistently, you're going to get your fair share of people that are not afraid to blitz you and take chances.
Escapes the pressure and fires it short, incomplete. Third down. Final minute, we should mention Jerome Moore about to sit out a suspension the next 2 games. It was a self-imposed suspension that Connor Stalions signed, stealing, deleting text messages. So the next 2 games against Central Michigan and then on the road against Nebraska, he will not be able to be in the building throughout the week. That's a different penalty than what Harbaugh had to pay.
That's right. Yeah, Harbaugh just missed Saturdays.
So he can't return until the game against Wisconsin, October 4th. They have a bye before that when he can coach. It's going to be tough for him to watch, sit out. Off this loss, you want to get right back out there and coach.
Yeah.
And he will not be able to.
That's a good point. Can they go back to McCauley?
Got a 4th down and about a yard here. And that's it. The Sooner defense has the final word. Almost Seago with a tackle for loss. They invaded the backfield all night. They stopped runners behind the line. They blitzed. They pressured Underwood. Oklahoma's defense is the story. Along with John Mateer.
Yeah.
Co-stars tonight.
Yeah, that's fair to say. But what a fitting way for Oklahoma to wrap this game up. And with a tackle for a loss, and again attacking the line of scrimmage with their backers. Huge win for Brent Venables, not just tonight, but they put so much into this offseason with changes, with coordinator changes, with a lot of personnel, just changing the vibe, the energy, the DNA of this program. And a win like this can really springboard you into some big hopes for this year. They got Auburn coming to town in a couple weeks. Texas on the horizon, and obviously it's a big win for this program.
Jackson Arnold's return, ex-Sooner quarterback for Auburn. That'll be interesting. Quarterback matchup with Mateer. It gets serious. So they got Red River at South Carolina, Ole Miss at Tennessee, and Alabama, Missouri, LSU. That's all that's left for them from October. Yeah, that's it. And Sherrod Moore returning to his alma mater comes short tonight. Could not contain John Mateer. He ran it 19 times for 74 yards and a couple touchdowns. Threw for 270 and a touchdown. And he's with Holly.
We're going right now. We're live on TV right now. What do you think about winning over Michigan, a game of blue bloods, a historic matchup, and you just won it, John?
We've been excited for this game. Thank you so much. For a long time, and I'm proud of these guys. I mean, we beat them, and we didn't play our best game with a bunch of turnovers and a bunch of things we need to clean up. I'm so proud of my teammates.
You said when you walked on this field last week to play, it was surreal. Tonight, you look comfortable in this building. How did you get comfortable so quickly?
I know that these fans have my back. These fans have all of our backs, and I threw a pick, and but next time I go on the field, they cheer me on, and I appreciate that so much, so Boomer.
You used your legs so effectively and efficiently tonight. They couldn't catch you at times. How are you able to mix that in with the pass?
It's dangerous. +1 run game is not good for defensive coordinators, and they don't like it, and And I'm glad Coach Arbuckle trusts the ball in my hands, you know, and I'm proud of the O-line and the running backs, tight ends blocking it up.
Speaking of the O-line, that long drive to end the game and eat up the clock, how do you describe that?
Yes, ma'am. That's what it's all about. I mean, it's not the flashy stuff and the big plays. It's the gritty, hard work and the urgency that we played with on that drive, and that's football. That's how you win.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
You love everything that he just said. Everything he just said.
Just shoot it into my veins. That's what we talked about. He did a lot of stuff that was fun. It'll be on SportsCenter and a lot of cool highlights. But that last drive where they were able to eat up over 8 minutes when Michigan knew they were going to run the ball, I'm with him. That's what stood out.
And he focused on what wasn't perfect. And he's right. They won this game -2 in turnovers. They had 3 big special teams miscues, including one of those turnovers, a muff punt, basically a roughing the punter penalty that prolonged the Michigan drive. Despite that, pretty convincing win.
Yeah, and what's great when you win a game and you have those mistakes is it's easy to get their attention, especially at week 2. Go back into the film room and think, hey, you know, don't listen to everything you're hearing, all these great things. Look at this film. We can still get a lot better. So that's the best thing for any coach. Anytime early in the year, especially, you go through some hiccups, you overcome them, you win a game. And for Michigan, it's a game you lose on the road. This is a good football team. You know, they grew up tonight. Young quarterback grew up tonight, saw something he's never seen. They've got to get better around him if they're going to become a real threat in the Big Ten.
Michigan shorthanded some key pieces tonight, either out injured or couldn't play at all. So they'll want to get everybody back and healthy. I agree. They show a lot of promise, but the night belongs to Oklahoma. A fun night in Norman for Brent Venables and his team. And as you said, John Mateer walking around like he owns the building, and why not? Great tradition of Oklahoma quarterbacks who've got moxie. Add this guy to the list, a winner. 24-13 is the final in Norman. Tonight's game produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Jimmy Platt. Hard work by all of our crew here in Norman. We appreciate them. On the West Coast, your local news over most of these ABC stations. For Kirk and Ollie, Chris Fowler saying so long from Norman.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ABC.